You'd all please rise, join us in saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome. This is the Union Township Board of Trustees meeting agenda for May 13th, 2025 at 6 p.m. Mr. Campbell, let the record show that all three trustees are present. Mr. Campbell, do we have correspondence from the fiscal office tonight?
Yes, sir, we do.
Great.
I have a letter that Deanna Lusby wanted me to read. So, to the men and women who helped save my life, this letter may be coming to you late, but I hope it reaches those who contributed to the life-saving measures I received from your department. My name is Deanna Lusby, and on February 18th, 2024, I was shot 5 times in my home. Everyone said it was a miracle I survived. It was, and you were all part of it. I can't begin to describe the overwhelming feeling of relief I experienced when you arrived. That's when things began to fade and my life was placed in your hands. I felt safe and can't thank you enough. Over the course of the year plus some, my heart has been heavy. I pass by your station now almost daily and think about all of you. While I don't remember who you are always on my mind and in my heart. I think often of ways to show my gratitude, but nothing is enough for what you did and continue to do in our community. Please know that you have someone else out there who prays over your department and a 12-year-old boy who got his mom back. With appreciation and gratitude, Deanna Lusby. And that was to Chief Clemens and the fire department.
Hold on, Chief. Thank you, Mr. Campbell.
I have a couple liquor permits,
Okay.
if you don't mind.
Yeah, please.
First one is for Pigskin LLC, 455 Cincinnati Batavia Pike, Union Township, Cincinnati, Ohio, 45244. This is a new permit, and it meets all the zoning, and no one has any objections. Another liquor permit for Ram VJ LLC, 4261 Mount Carmel Tabasco Road, Union Township, Cincinnati, Ohio, 45245. This is also a new permit. They're doing business as a Clough Pike Shell gas station at 4261 Mount Carmel Tabasco Road. Again, this is in compliance with the zoning, and there has been no objections. Lastly, I have a third liquor permit, and this is also a new permit. This is for LMD Bar and Grill LLC, 1020 Ohio Pike, Union Township, Cincinnati, 45245. Again, it is in appropriate zoning, and there has been no objections. That concludes the correspondence. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Campbell. Moving on to proclamations and special presentations. This first one here, Union Township Resolution 2025-23. Our board represents a broad swath of the community, and in that community, we recognize community members that have been grieving recently through tens of thousands of comments, and we represent them too. And so I'd like to ask Trustee Dills to go into Resolution 2025-23, declaring May 18th, 2025, the Kaylee Maston Day in Union Township. Trustee Dills, if you please take the floor.
Of course. Would you like Ms. Masson to come up first?
Yes, please.
Yeah,
What
yeah,
I'll give you the floor.
Oh,
You
thank you,
spearheaded this and kicked this off, so, yeah,
Thank you.
please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Miss Julie, where's Julie at? Let's see. Hey, Julie, come on up, please. Miss Julie, how are you?
I'm doing okay. How are
Good,
you?
good. Thanks for being here. And Miss Julie, I don't need to talk much. This is your time, so enjoy, and this is your moment.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, good evening, everyone. I want to start by expressing my deepest gratitude to each of the Union Township trustees, Joe Dills, Michael Logue, and John Becker for your unwavering support and courage in honoring Kaylee's memory. In the face of criticism, your steadfastness means more words than I can express. I also want to acknowledge the overwhelming support from our community, which has been a huge source of strength and encouragement through my journey. This gesture isn't just about a chair. It's about acknowledging the grief and struggles that so many students face in silence. By recognizing Kaylee publicly, we're sending a powerful message that no one has to navigate their pain alone. This is the time to unify and come together, because the more we talk to our kids and to each other, the more we help ourselves and each other heal. At the core of all I do is the commitment to truly listen to our kids. Their voices and their experiences must be the guide for us, ensuring that no one feels unheard or unseen. While I appreciate the recognition at the 2023 mental health game, it was deeply disheartening to attend the 2024 and receive no acknowledgement from any staff, even though they looked right at me. That moment made it painfully clear, while ongoing visible recognition is so important, not just for the families like mine, but for the students who loved Kaylee and never got the chance to grieve publicly. I find it irresponsible to rely solely on one source, like the NCSCB, who lacks empirical backing. When there's a wealth of research and expert opinion supporting the positive impact of visible memorials, we owe it to our students to do better research, to listen to all perspectives, and to choose what truly serves their well-being, not what's easiest to defend on paper. To me, not placing empty chairs for any students is evidence of systemic failure to support grieving students and families. If an honorary chair glorifies suicide, then any tribute to a deceased student, whether lost to cancer, an accident, or other causes, would also be considered harmful. However, schools routinely recognize students who pass away under other circumstances, demonstrating a double standard in how loss is treated when suicide is involved. If the concern is ensuring that the chair is presented appropriately, the school could work with mental health professionals to craft a sensitive, responsible message that encourages students to seek support if they are struggling. In the spirit of that unity in action, I'm excited to announce that this summer I plan on hosting a Be the Light event in Kaylee's honor, a family-friendly fundraiser to bring our community together, support one another, and shine a light on the importance of mental health awareness. I'm also working on creating Kaylee's Cove, a dedicated space for teens to hang out, connect, and find support. This event and these initiatives are just the beginning of what we can achieve together, creating a lasting legacy of hope, healing, and support for all students. I want to thank you again for standing with me, not just for Kaylee, but for every student who deserves to be seen, heard, and remembered. And this is Kaylee.
Beautiful girl. Yeah.
That's all I got.
No, Miss Julie, please stay up here. Thanks for being here and accepting our invitation. And,
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, also thank you for suggesting that we do this as well. I was a big part of it. And so, Julie, I'll tell everyone the backstory real quick on this. This was brought to my attention. By the way, it's good to finally meet you. We've had
Yeah.
several phone calls, and I
Yes,
get to meet
too.
you face to face.
Yes.
So,
All of you. Well, I've met John, but.
this was brought to my attention about 3 months ago, and I thought for sure Milford was going to do the right thing. Keep in mind, I'm a Milford graduate. Played soccer there. I was on the board for their Milford DECA advisory board. I'm very involved with Milford, but I'm a UT guy now in the Township, and so I thought for sure they would change course. I thought for sure they would, and I sat on it for about 4 or 5 weeks, 6 weeks, and they didn't. Made some phone calls, met with the superintendent, and they were holding firm. And so whenever, and it was laying on my heart, it really was. And so whenever I have a decision to make, I've got a handful of folks that I reach out to that I consider, mentors, elders, guys that are older than me, and to seek their counsel. And whenever I have any tough decision as a trustee to make, I usually seek out counsel for folks that are wiser than me. And for the first time, unanimously, all of them agreed that Milford was foolish in their decision. And so I think Milford has done a good job, but they have not done a great job. And I've had plenty of 2 months to think on my words and choose my words wisely, and I own every one of my words I'm about to say. And they did a good job. They're going to read Kaylee's name and they're going to put her in the graduation book, her name in there, and I believe they're also going to give you a diploma, maybe, right?
Yes,
So-
I received an
Okay.
email today offering a private diploma
Okay.
in CAP. I have not responded to it. To be honest, I was thinking about posting it and seeing what the community thought and what mainly
Yeah.
the senior class thought.
So
Because I'd like to invite the whole senior class to that private
I
diploma.
think it's a great thing, and you should. And so, that's good what they did, but it's not great. And to make it great, I don't think it's that big of a deal for any student in that graduating class that has passed for any reason, to not simply have a chair. I don't understand the big deal. I played varsity soccer for Milford. The school's named after a young girl that lost her life. And so, Mike and I both served in the military. They have a thing where it's 22 push-ups a day for suicide awareness. I don't think it's something we should sweep under the rug. It's a terrible tragedy. I think Kaylee would absolutely have a redo if, but I can't imagine being a teenager, especially a girl in today's high school's world. It's a lot of pressure. It's hard. And so, I asked a lot of folks for advice of what to do about this. And it's funny because I asked everyone that was older than me, and then the one person that was the most powerful words was the youngest person I talked to, and that was my 15-and-a-half-year-old daughter named Sydney. I know she's 15 and a half because she just got her temps. And so, I sat her down, and she was the same age as Kaylee. They were both, she's a sophomore currently, and Kaylee was a sophomore, and I'd asked her opinion. And, I'm like, look, if I do this, if I come out publicly and speak against this, Dad's going to face some negative publicity. He's going to have some haters out there. And, my daughter, Sydney, was like, well, Dad, they're all cowards and you're not. And do the right thing. So, out of everyone, that pierced my heart the most. And, your daughter was 16. Holy cow. We all make dumb decisions. But today's a good day. We're going to bring light onto something that was dark. And so, but I'll tell you real quick, and the thing that gets me is, we live in a very divided society. It's Democrat, Republican, Joe Biden, Donald Trump. This is not a political issue at all. This is a humanity issue. This is doing a decent issue, doing the right thing. And so it's the least we can do. You live in our district, you live in the township. Milford is a part of our township as well. And so I've gotten a lot of heat. I got a lot of heat from elected officials over there, and how we should stay in our lane. And they're not very happy with me. And guess what? I don't really care. And so I've got 8 months left in this position guaranteed. And, sometimes we're going to do the right thing, even if it's not the popular thing. So today's the right day. And so, but I'll tell you real quick my story. I was in the Air Force about 14 years. And when I was active duty, I was with the same guy for almost 3 years. And his name was Senior Airman Kablitz. And 2.5 years I sat next to this guy. And he had a wife, he had a daughter. Out of nowhere, got word he took his own life. And now we were opposites. We didn't hang out outside of work, outside of Air Force. But he was a big nerd. I wasn't. He was ultra smart. I'm not as smart. And but I sat next to this guy for 2.5 years, and I never checked on him. I never really asked if he was okay. I got to know the guy, but I never really, right? And so that pierced my heart. When I heard your story, it pierced my heart the same way. And so hopefully we can do better as a community to help folks that are in need that we don't know about, right? So I appreciate what you're doing. And today's a good day. It's not a bad day. It's a good day. And we're going to take something that happened tragically and make light of it. And I hope that schools make better decisions on how to do things. And let's not hide things under the rug.
Yeah.
So, gentlemen, that is all I have. Mr. Chairman, I'll yield the floor, and then I'll come back to this.
Mr. Becker, you have any comments you'd like to add on this special presentation, proclamation here?
No, Mr. Dills did quite well over there.
Thank you, sir.
Really don't have much to add. It's just unfathomable to me what that must have been, how that took its toll on you to lose your daughter. And I think a few years prior to that, you lost your husband to cancer, is that correct?
Yes.
And have those kind of losses for one person. And of course, nobody wants to bury a child. I just can't imagine that pain that you've gone through, and my heart really goes out to you.
Thank you.
That's all, Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Becker. My heart my heart breaks for you and for the losses of your husband, and also what I'm sure for Kaylee. I think she was 5 years old, losing her father to cancer in that sense as well. And as Mr. Becker just shared as well, the loss that you've had to hold. I find it energizing that you want to build into the community for hope, healing, and support for all the students. This Be the Light event in Kaylee's Cove. It's wonderful. I'm happy to see that positive direction, healing for the community. As a board, like Milford's board, we have the unique ability to sometimes have special interests in different items, and we can deviate from policy, or that's exactly, to Mr. Dill's point, someone may say stay in your lane. That is staying in your lane when you're elected to serve a broad portion of the community that sends a lot of their kids to Milford schools. And if our residents are not being heard, and I'm hearing from those residents, I'm in my lane fully by representing their voice. And so that's why I'm proud about this board being able to come together on maybe some things that are sometimes considered bold or courageous. Like, no, it's just doing your job as a board member. And that's what we're here to do. We're here to serve you and work for you. I'm happy that we're able to do something that's a little bit of positive on this upcoming day for you on an otherwise just drastically different situation. And my last just point, sorry. I do recognize it's a difficult position for Milford school boards in one sense. But I do hope that they recognize and look back on the one thing that what they've not wanted to do. I think the said and unsaid, they've not wanted to garner a bunch of media and a bunch of stories around something because they're afraid that it's going to glorify it. And they're afraid that it's going to create an epidemic of more issues and cases. And, by them just sticking to what they said they were going to do and not kind of stand up with rational common sense on this, has done exactly what they didn't want to have happen.
Yeah.
And and that's, at the end of the day, that's the blessing out of all this, because I frankly, I don't think I would have heard the same message coming from Mr. Dills and his background story that he shared with it. And so, God has a unique way of working, and now it leads me to the next question I can say to our staff and the board members: what can we do to be able to help support, Be the Light event, if there's a dinner table or something that we're able to participate in Kaylee's Cove, and so that's the unique nature in which God works, and so that's the one benefit, I guess, through all of that and through the struggles that you have felt through all of this. But thank you for being strong, courageous, and being persistent. With that, Mr. Dills, yes, I'll hand it over to you to go on with the resolution.
All right. Julie, I'm going to read this, and then afterwards, let us grab a picture with you, if that's all right, okay?
Sure.
All right. Gentlemen, I'm going to entertain a motion for Resolution 2025-23, resolution declaring May 18, 2025. What day is Milford's graduation?
The 18th.
Interesting we chose that date, huh? Interesting. All right, good. So, May 18, 2025. Okay, go ahead.
Do you want me to entertain the motion so you can second it?
Oh, it's okay.
Or be on or so you can make the motion? I'm
It's
sorry.
okay. It's okay.
I think he's making the motion.
Got it.
Uh,
He's
as-
making the motion now.
Got it.
As Kaylee Maston Day in Union Township, Claremont County, Ohio. The Board of Trustees, Claremont County, met in regular session at Union Township Administration Building right here at Eichholz Road. And on May 13, 2025, the following members present: myself, Mr. Logue, Mr. Becker. And whereas Kaylee Maston was an outstanding soccer player and an exceptional student at Milford High School who tragically lost her life on March 14, 2023 at the age of 15 years old. And whereas Kaylee was a vibrant and spirited individual who, in addition to playing soccer for Milford High School, enjoyed winter sports such as skiing, snowboarding, left a lasting impact on her classmates, teachers, teammates, and others who had the privilege of knowing her. Whereas Kaylee struggled with mental health concerns, depression, and anxiety following the devastating loss of her father to cancer when she was just 5 years old. Whereas Kaylee passing by suicide highlights the urgent need for increased mental health support and awareness, particularly among our youth. And whereas, if not for her tragic and ultimately death on March 14, 2023, Kaylee Maston would have graduated with Milford High School class of 2025 on Sunday, May 18, 2025. And whereas the Board of Trustees, Union Township, Claremont County, Ohio, seek to honor Kaylee's life, celebrate her memory, and affirm her commitment to promoting mental health awareness and suicide prevention within the community. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Trustees, Union Township, Claremont County, that Sunday, May 18, 2025 shall be designated as Kaylee Maston Day here in Union Township. Be it further resolved that this day shall serve as both a memorial to Kaylee and call it to action for expanded mental health support, suicide prevention awareness, and compassionate outreach for those in crisis. Be it further resolved, and lastly, that the constituents of Union Township, Claremont County, Ohio, are encouraged to take time to reflect upon Kaylee's life and support those struggling with mental health and foster a more caring, responsive community on Sunday, May 18, 2025, here in Union Township, Claremont County, Ohio.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Campbell, roll call, please.
Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Congratulations, Julie.
All right, gentlemen. Our next proclamation special presentation for the night, after such a moving introduction there with Ms. Massey. Project Lifesaver presentation and demonstration. Mr. David Kale. Mr. Kale, President of Autism Rocks Cincinnati and neighboring public safety professionals. Love to welcome you up to the microphone, the podium. You're good, you're good.
Good evening.
Good evening. Great to see you, David.
You too, Mike. That's right. I didn't prepare a speech. I'm going to speak from the heart. Before I get into it, though, I want to show you in hand so that you guys could look at it a little bit closer. This is the transmitter for Project Lifesaver. It also comes with a battery and a water-resistant case. Now remember those words, water resistance, and I'll get into that in a little bit. So what I'm here to speak to you today about is saving lives. I see a lot of our first responders here. So what I'm speaking about is also going to be directed to you as well. My son is autistic. He was diagnosed back in 2008. His name is Parker Kale. I started a foundation for him, Autism Rocks, back then. When he was approximately 5, almost 6 years old, I'm out doing a show. I'm a DJ. I get a call from his mom. She said, "Did you leave the front door open?" "No, I didn't leave the front door open. I'm certain I locked it." She said, "Well, great. I found him out in the backyard on the swing set." Great. Now he knows how to open doors. So what are we going to do? Because he's nonverbal. non-communicative. He's high risk. So I started doing research. There's a lot of systems out there, GPS and RF. Project Lifesaver is a radio frequency-based system. And I'll get into in just a little bit why it's better than what you see out there with GPS. But I started researching it, and the reason that I found it, what I liked about it is it's fire and police participated only. So if our loved ones go missing, we contact you, and you are the first responders going to search for our loved ones. How does it work? Very simply. You have a transmitter. That transmitter goes either around the wrist or around the ankle. Now, each one of those transmitters, and as you'll see on the transmitter, it has a code to it. Each one of those transmitters, with its radio frequency code, can be read by this simple unit right here. When you first turn it on, sounds like an old AM/FM radio that's out of tune. So the call goes out. My son's missing. Dispatcher reports out and says to everybody, Parker Cale's missing. His code is 216770. As soon as they put the code in, there he is. How do you find him? When he's aimed at directly with the unit, the signal gets stronger. You use either 2, one above, one below, and work to the middle, or 3 and triangulate to find him.
What's the range on that, Dave?
A little over 1 mile. The system started in Virginia. They found a very high amount of Alzheimer's and dementia patients back in 1999 that were wandering that they needed to find. And they found that the average cost when they were going out and just searching without something like this was $342,000 for a search. So they came up with this system. It's a very simple system. You have paperwork, the 3 trustees, on what process you need to go through to get this. It's a 501c3 chapter. But that unit right there costs $1,400. There is a plan, a starter plan, and it's about $6,000 for the starter plan, but you get 2 of those receivers. You get power cables, vehicle antennas so that they can go on your vehicles as well. 2 transmitters to start with, testers, soft cases, headsets, adapters, and it also includes training. They will come, Project Lifesaver will come in and train your first 7 individuals who will also be trained as instructors. And then they in turn will bring in the rest of the police and fire and train them as well too. And everybody will be certified on how to use this system. So why is this system a little bit better than I believe than GPS? And I'll tell you, he's got 2. I have a GPS around his waist and Project Lifesaver around his wrist. It's all about how the technology works. Transmitter, receiver, that's all it takes for RF. GPS, it goes from wherever the unit is on the person to a satellite. Satellite to a processing station back up to a satellite back to mom and dad's cell phone. There's too much opportunity for GPS to be interfered with. Now, I've had times where he's been out with his mom on her visits and she's taken him to a park, and I've lost his GPS signal for 3 hours. There are, as we all know, having cell phones, dead spots. There's not 100% coverage with GPS. That's why this technology and working with our fire and police is the best way to do it. So last year they had, I believe it was a little over 1,700 searches in the Project Lifesaver community. They found 100% of the people they were looking for within 30 minutes. The recovery rate is the important thing. If y'all remember back in November last year, a little boy named Joshua in Westchester went missing. There was a 2+ day search for him, and unfortunately, he was found deceased. Had he had been found within those 30 minutes, could his life have been saved? I like to believe so. And that's why I am so behind this. The technology is there. We need to protect our loved ones. We need to start doing something to be able to eliminate these deaths. And by looking and investing in a system like this, I believe your township will save lives. Right now, it's in Milford, Ohio. We're working with Miami Township. I also went up with Parker in front of Gene Schmidt's committee, and HB 96. We are trying to get state funding, but that's really all it comes down to is funding. Funding, training, and then starting to build your database. And once we can connect communities side by side that have the technology, now all of a sudden you can imagine the possibilities of being able to work with your neighboring communities on searches to be able to eliminate these deaths. So that's what I'm here to talk to you about today and ask you to consider. Yeah, it's basically comes down to the cost. I gave you a price sheet. I gave you all of the information from Project Lifesaver, and I hope you consider it. I hope you consider coming on board with us in Milford. Any questions?
What's the cost that you're recommending that we would do to get started?
The starter cost is less than $6,000, and that gives you that package that I talked about. Now, monthly, you do need to replace the batteries. They also have a unit that is bi-monthly on battery replacement. Battery replacements are only $1. That gives you 2 of the transmitters to start with. It's just gonna depend on how many at-risk individuals in your community that you start to band and build up. And over a period of building years plus, you might, I know the lady that I spoke to that went with me to present in front of the state, she said she's got 112 clients in her area around the Columbus area that she deals with. I wouldn't know exact number on how many at-risk individuals you have here in Union Township, but each one of those kits for one transmitter is a little less than $400. After that initial investment, it's just the $1 per month or bi-monthly for the battery replacement. There's no payment to Project Lifesaver to be able to stay as a client or monitor anything. It's just buying the equipment and getting more of the equipment into your budget. You can see also that as you start getting into it, you'll build a database. In Milford, they've got Parker's picture, and they've come several times to take an updated picture of him. They've got a bio on him. He doesn't like animals, so they know if they go out searching and they're bringing dogs, they back the dogs off so that they don't do anything to upset Parker when they finally get to the point to find him. That is something that you'll be able to do eventually. Build your databases, names, addresses, parents' names, likes, dislikes, height, weight, things about them to be able to identify them and find them much quicker. So you can imagine the things that you can do with this.
Thank you, David. I'm gonna give the floor to Mr. Dills. You got
Just a couple. Dave, thanks for explaining all this, by the way. Very much, appreciate you, thank you. So the unit's $6,000 and each band is $400, correct?
The $6,000 is the starter kit, so it gives you 2 of the units.
I understand. But then thereafter is 400.
Yeah,
Plus
so
a
each of the
buck a month, okay.
individual units to band somebody else is approximately $400.
How many bands can that machine or that equipment handle?
That machine dials in, so each one of those clients are assigned a different RF frequency.
Okay.
And
How many
if
can it
someone
do?
else, like for example, on there, I think the number was 216. If I were to put that band together, that unit together and dial it in on that unit, it would pick it up.
No, I got,
I think
So it only takes one unit to be able to find any.
I think it's pretty broad, because it looks like it goes between like 213 megahertz and 218 megahertz, and that's a triple-digit figure, so zero,
So it goes-
0 through
So
999.
so we'll say 1,000.
Times like 5, probably, but yes.
Oh,
A lot.
I see.
A lot.
Okay, got it, okay. What happens after 2 mile, or after a mile? What happens if he's lost 2 miles away?
Well, and that comes with part of the training itself. You learn about their ages and what their abilities are as far as how prone they are, how far they can walk between point A when they first are missing and point B when they are set up for the search. And that all factors in on where you set up your perimeter as the police and fire to be able, you need to get somebody on one side of them, one on another side of them, or if you have 3 units in a triangulation and work to the middle. Another thing with that unit too, that's better than GPS. GPS, you drop a pin, if you've ever looked on your GPS in a map. With that, let's say he goes into a high-rise building, 10, 12, 14 floors up. You can go floor by floor and know whether you need to go up another floor until you find the correct floor. You can go to the actual unit and find him in the unit. As long as you have just the transmitter and his frequency, you'll be able to go directly to him.
So basically, we just keep it at the police station and until someone brings in, is that correct? Right.
There's monthly maintenance with it, as I said, the battery. So for the first couple of years, I also did some record keeping so that the Milford Police could build databases. So your first couple of years, you're going to build your databases. You're going to probably come up with some simple questions that you're going to ask your clients' caregivers and start building your databases together.
No, I got
Then
that, but
after that,
basically we keep
it's
the-
just a monthly visit to change the battery.
No, I got that, but basically it stays at the police station, right?
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Or the fire station, because it's
Okay.
participated by both.
Last question, I'm done, is, I have no idea, I'm ignorant, I'm an elementary student when it comes to this. How many, so there's ballpark 50-ish thousand residents in Union Township. How many are autistic? Do you have any idea? I have no idea.
I don't, well, and you have to also throw into that how many are Alzheimer's and dementia.
Okay,
They could be protected as well, too. Some Down syndrome individuals are higher at risk as well, too. So all that would factor in for you. And you have to
So-
remember, too, it's participated. So some families will say, we want to step up when we do this. Some families will say, no, we don't want to. So it's not just a matter of, we're going to go and cover everyone who has. They're going to have, the families are going to want to have to participate as well.
got it. That's all I got, Mr. Becker. Sir.
Mr. Becker?
Yeah, so the upfront cost will be, round numbers, $6,000.
That's the starter kit, yes.
It'll periodically need batteries to be replaced. I presume that's minimal cost. Is there any, like subscription fees? Any
None.
monthly cost of any kind?
No.
The gift that keeps on giving? Nothing of
No.
that nature?
None. It's just investment in new equipment.
Dave, I've known you and Parker for a long time, and I can vouch for you that you love your son very much and go to the ends of the earth for him, and you got a heart of gold, and I really appreciate that. And I appreciate you bringing this to our attention. That's all, Chairman.
Yeah, thank you so much for bringing this and sharing this. I think it's a great idea. Obviously, I'm going to allow the safety services team to look into execution, what they think cost risks are. To me, I'm supportive of you, Parker. I'm supportive of this idea, this project. Thank you so much for sharing that. I was asking the questions about it's interesting. I see propeller on the front of the Project Lifesaver. So in aviation, there's a thing called automatic direction finder. Now, it's old school technology, which is basically the same thing you're talking about, where you dial in a beacon, and that's how you used to fly instrument approaches. And so gone ways to GPS and different types of navigation now. Where I'm going with this is it's kind of a shame that hopefully Project Lifesaver will also look at getting the radio frequency in the same band, because there's still a lot of local general aviation pilots that still have the ADF equipment on their planes, even though they're not in use. And if a kid or someone was missing, it'd be so simple to be able to dial in their frequency and fly 1,500 to 2,000 feet overhead and be able to hear them ping real fast, and just be a force multiplier. But I love this, and I know that by the time a plane get in the air, our safety service guys would already have them sitting under a warm blanket and having, a warm meal and everything going for them. So, 'cause
And I
we've
do
got just the
understand,
best.
I do understand that they're working on drone technology as well too, so that they can utilize drones to do searches with too. So being able to outfit drones with the equipment.
Yeah, I was actually just taking a look at that too, as far as some of the consumer commercial-based drones that can carry a payload that is a radio frequency receiver. Then you match up your radio frequency with the GPS, so
Right.
it's
So
kind
what
of
I've
that
just given-
benefit too. So
what
yeah,
I've
I think
just
there's a
given
lot
you-
of things for the team to look at, and
Yeah. What I've just given you is just the basics. You can do more with what you want to do or do less with what you want to do and tailor after what you guys think would be best for your community. I'd just like to get more communities on board than Milford.
It's good.
well, I think it's great, so I really appreciate it. So,
Thank you.
thank you.
Appreciate you.
And David, tell me now, how, has it been 2 years since Parker graduated high school?
23, yes.
In 2023?
Yes.
Yeah,
Graduate, magna cum laude.
yeah. Well, I mean, room, I'd like to say, hey, Parker, congratulations on graduating in 2023, buddy. Thank you. All right, gentlemen, Union Township Years of Service Recognition Program. Chief Reese, if you'd like to introduce Mr. Josh Hawthorne, and sir, if you'd like to come on up.
Well, Josh is, I don't know what more I can say about Josh. He's a 20-year veteran and a steady calming influence with our patrol. I had the pleasure of supervising him as a sergeant. As a lieutenant, had the pleasure of making him an FTO. And probably the most important position in our department with all the new hires we've had over the last 10 years. And Josh has probably trained over half of them. He's the guy that passes on the culture and the knowledge to our new people that we're going to be hiring tonight. I appreciate him so much, and just a veteran, a solid veteran out there on the patrol that we need, and a good officer and an even better person. And he's here with his wife Robin tonight, so we're lucky to have him. Thanks, Josh.
Thank you.
Mr. Dills, I'd like to give you the floor.
Josh, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
20 years, appreciate you very much. Field trained officer, so I know you must have a lot of patience to train a bunch of rookies that come through here.
We get lucky with a lot of good people.
Yeah, good. Yeah, appreciate you very much. And 20 years is a long time for you to dedicate your life in service here, so appreciate you. And hopefully you retire here, and very much, so.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Baker.
Hey, appreciate your 20 years of service to Union Township. What stories do you have for us over the past 20 years?
I've got a lot, but not for now.
What about Chief Reese? What can you tell us about him, just between you and 50,000 people here?
Chief Reese has been great to work for.
Yeah.
That's the right answer. Okay. That's all I have, Joe.
All right, well, on to the better question then. So how about Mr. Becker? What can you tell us about Mr. Becker?
I can't tell
Ever
you much about
visited
Mr.
his
Becker.
property or? I mean, 1, 2, I mean, I'm joking. Hey, thank you for the 20 years. That's awesome. That's great. And definitely want to see you continue your time, continue your service to the residents here and all that you're building to the next generation and the team. So thank you for what you do.
You're welcome.
We've
Thank
got
you.
here for you for your 20 years to commemorate. Gentlemen, moving on to personnel actions. Chief Clements with the Fire Department, would you like to introduce your new hire, Ryan Hughes?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Logue. I'd like to introduce and recommend Mr. Ryan Hughes for consideration for the position of full-time firefighter paramedic. Mr. Hughes is a 2015 high school graduate of Kettering Fairmont. Ryan continued his education at Heidelberg University, where he excelled in the classroom, earning his bachelor's degree while also playing collegiate level football. He earned certifications as a firefighter and paramedic through Cincinnati State. He comes to us with experience working for the Village of Laughlin and Springdale Fire Departments. Ryan has successfully completed all aspects of the hiring process, including a background, polygraph, and psychological evaluation, and is eager to join our department. I would recommend a conditional offer of employment to Mr. Hughes as a full-time firefighter paramedic at a rate of pay consistent with Step 2 of the collective bargaining agreement, effective June 2nd, 2025, at 7 a.m., pending successful completion of a physical examination.
Trustee Dills?
Ryan, thanks for being here tonight. Laughlin, right? Right? Is that where you came from?
Springdale.
Springdale. You say Laughlin?
Both.
Oh, okay.
Part-time Lockland, full-time Springdale.
Yeah. Where is Heidelberg College?
Tiffin, some town in the middle of a bunch of cornfields.
Is it?
You might stumble upon, like, Northwest Ohio.
Yeah, good. Do you got your family here?
I do.
Here, point them out to us real quick, please. There you go, there's the wife. Okay, shoot, yeah.
Yeah. Got my beautiful wife and 11 parents of my beautiful kids with me.
Awesome, it's a big deal today, that's awesome. Play football there, right?
Yes, sir.
Any chance you play basketball? Lord knows we need help over here. Fire department. No? Well, that's too bad.
Not much of the basketball type.
Oh, all right, that's too bad, okay.
Mr. Becker?
College football, what position?
Receiver. Wide receiver.
Yeah, that's awesome. Didn't make it into the pros.
Not quite.
Well, appreciate your interest in joining us here in Union Township, and I think you'll be a great addition to our team here.
Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, welcome. We look forward to having you, Ryan. Absolutely. So, gentlemen, with that, I'll entertain a motion to hire Ryan Hughes for position of firefighter, paramedic Step 2 in accordance with collective bargaining agreement, effective date of June 2nd, 2025 at 7 a.m., pending the successful completion of medical physical examination.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Congratulations, Ryan.
Congratulations, Ryan.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Ryan. Make sure you stick around with your picture with us.
Congratulations. Welcome. Absolutely.
Welcome aboard.
Congratulations.
Welcome aboard, Ryan.
Let's keep moving. Good. Chief Clements, I'll give you the floor for your new hire, Samantha Ogle.
Thank you. I just want to start off by saying, we were looking to fill an administrative assistant position. It was a very competitive process. We had over 35 applications for the one position. Interviewed many great candidates, and I'm very confident that we have chosen the right person for the position. So with that being said, I'd like to introduce Samantha Ogle for the position of full-time administrative assistant for the fire department. Sam is a 2011 Georgetown High School graduate. She brings experience in customer service, management, payroll, Microsoft products, and comes from a fire service family. Samantha is very organized, professional. I'm confident she will learn the ins and outs of the fire department and be a great asset to our organization. She has successfully completed all aspects of our hiring process, and I would recommend a conditional offer of employment to Ms. Ogle as a full-time administrative assistant at a rate of pay of $24 an hour effective June 2nd, 2025 at 8 a.m.
Mr. Dills.
Samantha, welcome. I feel like, did you bring your family here?
I did, yes.
Let me, introduce her, please.
Got my husband Adam, my mother Tammy, my uncle Curtis, and a good friend Rose.
Love it.
Here as
Love
well.
That's right, Rose. I've seen you at Redwood events, haven't I?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you come from a a good company. Redwood's a good community here in Sioux.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Rose and Haley, they're good people over
Oh,
there.
yeah,
So,
absolutely.
well, good, yeah, welcome, and I do know that Chief was telling us how competitive it was, and so congratulations, by the way. So
Thank
that's
you.
great,
I
great
appreciate
to
it.
have you here and join the team, so, yeah, absolutely.
So Mr. Becker.
Did I hear Georgetown High School?
Georgetown High School, yes.
Yeah. So, out in Brown County?
Brown County, yeah, I grew up out in Hamersville.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, I used to get out there quite a bit a few years ago, not so
Yeah.
much anymore. Where do you live now? What part of town?
I live in Union Township, right at
Great.
Brandy Chase, yep.
Well, that's what we'd like to hear. Well, that's good enough for me. No more questions, Chairman.
Awesome, that's great. Well, Samantha, we're really looking forward to having you on the team and supporting the fire department, so welcome.
Thank you so much.
Gentlemen, at this time, I'll entertain a motion to hire Samantha Ogle for the position of full-time administrative assistant, fire department, effective date of June 2nd, hourly rate of $24 per hour.
So moved.
Second?
Roll call, Mr. Campbell.
Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Congratulations, Samantha.
Congratulations, absolutely. Welcome, absolutely, pleasure meeting you.
Welcome aboard.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Smith.
Congratulations. Sorry, I don't have that. Chief Reese, if you could please introduce your new hire, Haley Smith, for the police department.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Logan. I wanted to acknowledge all our officers that are here tonight to show support to our 3 new hires. I appreciate them being here, and I think our applicants do too, so thank you. I would like to present tonight Haley Smith to the board for a position of police officer for Union Township. Ms. Smith is a resident of Union Township, Claremont County, Ohio, and a 2025 graduate of the University of Cincinnati Police Academy, where she has already received her OPATA police officer certification. Ms. Smith also holds a bachelor's degree in criminal justice from the University of Cincinnati. She has successfully completed all pre-employment phases for the position of police officer, including background, polygraph, and psychological examination. I'm requesting that the board appoint Haley Smith to the position of police officer in accordance with the collective bargaining agreement pending successful completion of a physical examination. Ms. Smith's starting date is scheduled for June 10th, 2025.
Thank you, Chief. Trustee Dills.
Haley, welcome.
Hi.
It's a good night. Do you have your family here at all?
I do.
Yeah.
I have my mom right there, and then I have my youngest brother right next to her, and then my 3 college roommates. So,
Love it, love it. That's awesome, that's awesome. You see all these police officers back here?
I know, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's awesome.
That's why I'm
It's awesome.
here.
Great team, you'll love it, great chief, it's a good team. So, yeah, appreciate you being here, and good that you're a Bearcat as well, so,
Yes.
good, so.
The best.
Yeah, absolutely, so welcome to the team,
Thank you.
absolutely. Chairman?
Trustee Becker.
So UTPD is your first assignment then?
Yes, sir.
Well, that's awesome.
I'm very excited.
And we're excited to have you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're looking forward to have you and stay here for a long time.
Yes, sir.
Gentlemen, I entertain a motion to hire Haley A. Smith for the position of police officer. Probationary service rate is established within the collective bargaining agreement with an effective date of June 10th, 2025, pending successful completion of medical physical examination.
So moved.
Second?
Roll call, Mr. Campbell.
Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Congratulations, Haley. Congratulations.
Welcome. Congratulations.
Welcome aboard.
That's great. Congratulations. That's Haley. That's right. Chief Reese, if you could introduce your new hire, Logan Parlier? Parlier, sir. Parlier? Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Logue. I would like to present Logan Parlier to the board for the position of police officer for Union Township. Mr. Parlier comes to us with 4 years of honorable service in the United States Army as an infantryman from 2021 to 2024. He currently resides in Cincinnati, Ohio, and is scheduled to graduate from Butler Tech's Police Academy in June of 2025, where he will obtain his OPATA police officer certification. Mr. Parlier has successfully completed all pre-employment requirements for the position of police officer, including a background investigation and a polygraph investigation and a psychological assessment. I am requesting the board appoint Logan Parlier to the position of police officer in accordance with the collective bargaining agreement pending the successful completion of a physical examination and the issuance of his Ohio Peace Officer certification. Mr. Parlier's scheduled start date is July 8th, 2025.
Thank you, Chief. Trustee Dills.
Logan, welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Dills.
It's a good-looking mustache, by the way.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Introduce your family, please, yeah.
Yes, sir. I'm a lovely wife, my mother, my grandparents, father-in-law, mother-in-law. Y'all come out to support me.
You got the whole team, I love it, I
Yes,
love
sir.
it. The Army vet, good man, and so you haven't even graduated school yet, right?
Yes, sir, I have not.
Okay, good. Well, when you go back, let all the recruits know that you picked the best police department to come to, all right?
Yes, sir,
So,
will do.
All right, good. So, yeah, welcome, Logan. Good team, good camaraderie, you'll love it here, yeah, so, but I think you already know that, you can feel it, so.
Thank you,
yeah,
sir.
Good deal. That's all I got, Mr. Chairman.
Trustee Becker.
4 years in the Army, where were you stationed?
I was at Fort Campbell, Kentucky, sir. 101st Airborne Division.
My son-in-law was there for a while.
Okay.
Whitehead? It's a big Army base, I know.
Yeah. No, I was in Bastogne.
Okay, all right. Yeah, he's at Fort Bragg now.
Okay.
Yeah, hey, welcome to Union Township. We're glad to have you.
Thank you, sir.
Talk to you.
Yeah, we're excited to have you get started. Go anywhere exciting with the Army?
I went to Romania for 9 months, sir, and then did a stint at West Point in New York, and then just some good old training in Louisiana, nice and hot. So.
All right, great. Well, that's a good perspective to bring as you're coming in. I know you're finishing school, but you've already got those years of experience, and I know that'll be well received around here. So, thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Well, gentlemen, at this time, we'll entertain a motion to hire Logan Parlier for the position of police officer. The probationary service rate is established within the collective bargaining agreement, effective date of July 8, 2025 at 12 a.m., pending successful completion of medical physical exam and receipt of his OPATA Peace Officer certification.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, Mr. Campbell.
Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Congratulations. Welcome, Logan. You're doing great. Welcome. Congrats.
Yeah, welcome aboard.
Chief Reese, if you could please introduce your new hire, Andrew Horde.
Thank you, Mr. Logue. I would like to present Andrew Horde to the board for the position of police officer for Union Township. Mr. Horde is a current resident of Union Township, Claremont County, Ohio, and holds a bachelor's degree in organizational leadership from the University of Cincinnati. Mr. Horde is scheduled to graduate from Butler Tech's Police Academy in June of 2025, where he will obtain his OPATA Police Officer certification. Mr. Horde has successfully completed all pre-employment requirements for the police officer position, including a background investigation, a polygraph examination, and a psychological assessment. I am requesting that the board appoint Andrew Horde to the position of police officer in accordance with the collective bargaining agreement pending the successful completion of a physical examination and the issuance of his Ohio Peace Officer certification. Mr. Horde's scheduled start date is July 8th, 2025.
Thank you. Trustee Dills.
Andrew, welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, please point out your family to us, please.
Yeah, my parents right here, my daughter, and my girlfriend.
Love it. Thanks for coming out. Okay, so you both are in the same class. All right, I see what's going on now. Okay, so which lieutenant showed up and recruited you guys?
They're not known, sir.
No way. Really? Sounds like we gotta be going to Butler Tech. Hey, good stuff. So I expect a little friendly competition at you two, to whoever gets promoted faster, all right? So,
Yes,
good
sir.
deal. You see, now, Officer Hawthorne's over there. He's at FTO. Y'all may want to go buy him a donut soon. He'll be your boss, right? So, thanks for being here. Appreciate you very much, and you'll love it here. I really do. I really believe that, so.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Trustee Becker.
So why'd you choose Union Township to come to? Is it Chief Reese's reputation or something else?
Yeah, I'm in Union Township. It's reputation. I've lived here my whole life. It's where I want to be.
So you are a Union Township resident?
Yes, sir.
That's what I'd like to hear. Great. Well, welcome aboard.
Thank you.
That's all, Chairman.
Hey, we're excited to have you get started. It's just, between you and obviously what that recognizes there, that this is a place of choice where people want to come and be at for their first place and long-term career. It's just great. So we're looking forward to have you get started. Gentlemen, entertain motion to hire Andrew Horde for the position of police officer at the probationary service rate as established within collective bargaining agreement and effective date of July 8th, 2025, at 12:01 a.m., pending successful completion of medical physical examination and receipt of his OPATA Peace Officer certification.
So moved.
Second?
Roll call, Mr. Campbell.
Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Andrew, congratulations. Congratulations, welcome.
Welcome aboard.
We got a room full of just great-looking family members and everyone. I see all these little girls out here with their bows and stuff. It's like, you guys are gonna have a lot of good pictures out there. Everyone that has, that we just did for new hires, we do want to get a group shot of you up here. My daughter's 3 years old, so I feel like she'd fit right in with all the girls in their patriotic dresses here. All right, as people are heading out the door, I just want to check and see if we have any comments in for public comment tonight.
Got one.
One card? Yeah, if you want to come on up. I was going to run down and get the card from you.
This needs exercise. That is a full-service chairman.
Hey, full-service chairman. Mel DeWitt.
Yes, Mel DeWitt, 3902 Banks Road, Union Township, Ohio. Quick comment, in many of my various aspects of emergency services years ago, I did have an opportunity to use what would be the antique predecessor of this device that the gentleman just used for locating, and it worked. And I'm always glad to see plenty of good hires in the emergency services department, police and fire. Seems like whenever things are nice and calm, you've got too many till the stuff hits. Then you don't have near enough. End of my comments.
Thanks, Mel.
Thanks, Mel. Greatly appreciate that. Anyone else with public comments tonight? All right, gentlemen, seeing none, we'll continue on with the agenda. Department reports. Our Fire Emergency Medical Services Chief Austin Clements, please.
Thank you, Mr. Logan. In the month of April, the fire department responded to 188 fire and service calls, 532 EMS details. Patient contact was 503 patients, transporting 416. The fire department completed 1,345 hours of training, handled 16 public education details, hosted 18 hours of ride time with local EMT students and doctor ride-along time, completed 301 life safety inspections and 11 fire inspections with the Claremont County Building Department. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Chief. Trustee Dills.
Just very quick, in case none of you knew, this Friday is a very big showdown between my son, who's 7 years old, and Chief Clemens' twin boys over here. We all both play in the same baseball league together, and our teams play each other this Friday. And Chief has agreed to a bet that if his team loses, he's got to shave his head. And if my team loses, I have to grow my hair out for a month. So that was the bet. So, we'll look at him. I have nothing, but that's true. Our teams are playing each other this Friday.
Heads you win, tails he loses.
Yeah.
Is that how the saying
I
goes?
thought we were just going for chicken wings, but that's okay.
Trustee Becker.
No, I don't have anything. I can't top that.
All right. Well, thank you, Chief Clements. Greatly appreciate that. Hey, with the new hires, how's that do for your staffing?
That puts us back to, all vacancies are full. So we're full staffed at this point.
Great. Okay, great. Wonderful. Chief Reese, Police Department, please.
Thank you, Mr. Logan. The month of April, the Communications Center handled 4,945 calls for service for police, fire, and EMS. And our our Records Division processed 479 juvenile and adult court-related documents. We served 81 court notices requiring officers' personal appearance in court, processed 11 Rule 16s for the prosecutor's office, issued 1 vendor permit, handled 156 records requests, and redacted 16 body camera videos. In the area of public affairs, officers conducted 6 events during the month of April that included numerous citizen ride-alongs and a women's self-defense class that we taught at the Mercy Healthplex. In the Operations Bureau, the Patrol Division took 358 incident reports, 114 crash reports, made 481 traffic stops, issued 155 citations, 352 written warnings, made 73 criminal arrests, 100 traffic arrests, and served 70 warrants. Our Honor Guard participated in 2 events in the month of April that included the Claremont County Salute to Leaders annual event at the Oasis and the Map Moppin' Yellow Ribbon event at the Oasis as well. Our officers attended 160 hours of training in April, and with tonight's 3 new hires, that brings us back to a full complement of police officers. That concludes my report, sir.
Trustee Dills.
Chief, solid job on those 3 hires. Good pick. They seem very solid. Good choices.
Thank you.
So, love it. Next week, is it next week? Is that where we're doing our, the police banquet? Is that next week?
Yes, sir. Next Wednesday.
Okay, good. I'm looking forward to being there and seeing your officers up there, and good stuff, Chief. I just feel it, good sense, good, and the fact that all your officers came out to support your new hires, just awesome camaraderie. Love it. Good stuff, Chief.
Thank you.
That's all I got, sir.
Trustee Becker.
Yes, Chief, first off, dittos everything Mr. Dills just said. As you know, I like to look at the call-out reports, and the ones that are interesting to me for whatever reason, I like to ask you about, give you the opportunity to shed additional light on it if you can, and I understand when you can't. So 2 of them, so the first one I'm just kind of curious about. The second one I just thought was bizarre. So this first one has to do with, this was on April 2nd, there was a wrong-way driver on I-275. Of course, that's dangerous. The driver of the stopped vehicle produced a firearm and was subsequently shot by Ohio State Highway Patrol. So she was driving the wrong direction, she pulled a gun on a cop, bad idea, and now she's dead. Was this suicide by cop? Was she whacked out somehow? You got any additional information on what was going on here?
If I did, Mr. Becker, I'd be speculating at this point.
Okay.
This is one of those things we're going to have to let play out in court. Our officers were up there in support of the state patrolman, which I'm grateful for, and I'm hoping that that investigation through BCI comes to a close soon.
Very good. The other one I have, this is what I just described as bizarre. This is one of these things, it's like, I have to, yes, I'm serious, that this really happened, or at least it's really in the report. So this was April 27th. A suspect forced entry into Jeff Weiler's Chevrolet by breaking out the glass in the entry door and attempted to steal a vehicle inside the showroom. He left Jeff Weiler and later went to the Big Mike's Gas and Go, and at Big Mike's, he stole a bottle of wine and emptied the bottle. He attempted to fill the bottle with gasoline, threatened the clerk, and then drove his vehicle through the front doors of the business. Chief Reese, what was that all about?
Well, again, I think that subject, I won't have to let that play through, but I'm pretty sure that subject was suffering from some mental illness. I'm happy to report that flock cameras, again, were instrumental in finally locating him at a relative's house in Richmond. So we were able to bring that to a successful conclusion.
I hope there wasn't a lot of extensive damage to either of those buildings.
I don't believe Big Mike's, I don't believe he ever made entry, just kind of rammed the front door, and I don't think it went too much further past that.
What about Jeff Weiler's? Is it broken glass?
Pretty much the same, broken glass, that's about it.
That's all I have, Chief. Thank you.
Thank you.
Chairman.
Chief, hey, thank you very much. So with staffing, how's that bringing up for staffing?
We're even right now, Mr. Logue. We do have an officer that is out on leave right now, and we are predicting that he may be taking an early retirement. So he's obviously still on the books, so right now we're even with our 3 new hires.
Okay. And then, obviously the culture and everything has been great, having that type of strong candidates come through. So that's always great to hear as far as a non-tangible. But as far as tangibles and hiring tools or incentives that we've given you and Chief Clements, has some of that helped with the recruiting? I mean, as I'm seeing this, I can't recall two cases or 2 new hires recently in mind over the last 5 years. I'm sure there may be one or more that have not finished school yet or had not finished their OPATA, but this obviously stands out to me tonight with both of those 2 hires anyway needing to complete their OPATA. So are there new tools that we've given you that have been beneficial? Or?
They have been. I mean, unfortunately, right now, it's a very competitive environment. We've never done what we did tonight, hiring 2 that don't have their certificates already in hand. And that's just right now the nature of the business. You know, all 3 of these applicants tonight that we hired had other offers out there.
Yeah.
And I'm pleased that they picked our department. I think they truly want to work here, but that's where we're at right now, trying to get them while they're in the academy or group.
Yeah, no, I think that's great, kind of following that thread all the way back. So, all right, thank you. And also, again, happy to hear that the flock cameras continue to be helpful in investigations. Moving on, Service Department, Mr. Matthew Taylor.
Thank you, Mr. Logue. In the Cemetery Division, from April 1st through the 30th, 20 burials were performed, generating $13,000. 13 resident graves were purchased for $9,100. 7 columbarium niches were purchased for $10,000. The total amount generated for the period was $39,998 or $958.50. In the Parks Division landscape area, maintenance and mulching continues on all township properties and parks. And in the Roads Division, 88 work orders were completed on multiple township roads. And I have some totals for the 2025 spring junk days. We filled 10 Packer trucks for a total of 53.49 tons of garbage. A total of 31 30-yard roll-off dumpsters were filled with garbage. 8 roll-off metal dumpsters were filled. A total of 75 refrigerators were dropped off by residents over the 3-day period. So that concludes my report.
Wow. 31 30-yard roll-offs?
Yes, so in a Packer truck, you can assume that it's 2 to 3 30-yard dumpsters in a Packer truck.
Oh, wow. Okay. What does like a 30-yard dumpster cost roughly when we bring that in, or?
I want to say it is, and they just raised the price, I want to say it's about $800 for a 30-yard roll-off dumpster.
Okay.
Yeah, that, it helps offset, because we do have some metal dumpsters which we don't pay for, so that we try to recycle where we can.
Okay. Trustee Dills. It's unreal. I've never used junk days, ever, in my life. I've never gone, I've never dumped anything, and I didn't realize how unbelievably popular that is.
It is extremely.
crazy.
It has been getting busier and busier the last.
I want to get rid of something, I just get rid of it. I
Yeah.
don't wait till, that's
Yes.
just crazy. Okay, that's a good thing.
Some people we see 2 and 3 times in a day.
In a day?
Yeah. So it just depends. We did receive a boat again this
A
year.
boat?
Yeah.
All right.
Somebody brought one in on a trailer.
Does it work?
No.
You all didn't test it out then? Okay.
No, wasn't
Yeah.
in the best of shape.
No, good stuff. Good stuff, Mr. Chairman. Appreciate it very much.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, hey, real quick, can you give a couple Parker updates, how the weather over at Klepper, how that's going, and then also,
So we are waiting, I'll give you, on Veterans Park, the comfort zone and the new playground set. New playground set's supposed to start digging June 1st with a completion before August 7th. And then the comfort zone, I believe, is mid-June to late June on starting. So should be, it all should be done before August 7th.
awesome, and then how's the
And then-
damage at Klepper?
Are you talking about wind damage?
Mhm.
Okay, everything's good now.
We're good to go?
Yeah, we're good to go.
Perfect.
Everything, all the pickleball courts are back open, everything's done.
Perfect.
Looks good.
I'm excited, because that park's gonna be opened before police night outs, so that's gonna be awesome. That's awesome.
That's what I was hoping.
That's, so, that'll be good stuff, so, okay, that's all I got, sir.
No, Trustee Becker.
So the boat was the most interesting item you got?
For the most part.
I was, yeah, it seems to be getting more popular every year. I was behind a U-Haul.
Yeah.
So apparently they bring stuff in by truckloads, quite literally. How did the spring junk days compare to previous spring junk days? I mean, it was more, but was it like 10% more, 50% more? What's the rate of growth?
All I can say is it was impressive. It was up to the ceiling or the roof of the service garage, because we just had too many vehicles and too much trash to unload. Otherwise, I mean, traffic was backed up, anybody that was in the area. It was just impressive. I don't even know, it was probably, 10% more than the fall of last year. It's been busier every year so far for the last few years.
All right, well, good job keeping up with it all.
Symptom of improving our communication apparatus and getting, more communications out to the community, I believe, so. Like we talked about the parks, you invest in the parks a little bit, and Matt, here's the problem.
Yes.
There's nowhere to park, the parking lots are full. It's a good problem, good problem to have. Awesome, great. Thank you, Mr. Taylor. All right, gentlemen, moving on, planning and zoning, Mr. Mark McCormick.
Thank you. For the month of April, in terms of enforcement, we had 43 inspections, 11 complaints, 3 unfounded complaints, 5 warning citations issued, 8 15-day non-compliance letters sent, 1 30-day violation letter sent, no cases sent to the attorneys, 16 cases resolved. We had 388 illegal signs removed, 11 violations for the month, 18 reinspection of violations, and no nuisances. For the permit activity, we had no commercial permits, 5 changes of use, 3 signs, 1 temporary sale, 2 temporary signs, 25 single-family dwellings, which is higher than we've seen for a while, 1 addition, 3 decks, 9 accessory structures, 10 pools, fences, and 59 permits for the month, revenue of $12,955. And the fire department revenue we took in was $225. The only other thing I was going to mention is we are starting to see some development come out of the ground. I drove by the other day, the Wawa's starting to come up. There's quite a bit of work now. You can see visible structure there with the VA. And it's going to continue to happen even more so the next month or two. The McDonald's should be underway next to Wawa in the next couple weeks. Going to be a lot of activity.
Trustee Dills.
Mr. McCormick, good job. Please tell Mr. Berkey we appreciate him. He was pretty busy this past month with all the compliance violation and checkups, the re-inspections. So please pass it on to him. But no, nice job in your department. Appreciate you very much.
We did send quite a few people to junk days, so that might have been part of the increase.
That's good.
So, do you get a referral fee for that at all?
No.
I'm sure Ms. Taylor appreciates all that, those referrals. Look at him. All good. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mark Sharp. All right, Trustee Becker.
When the Wawa opened up in, I want to say Butler County, got a lot of fanfare, a lot of time on the news about it. What do you have an estimate on the timeline that the Wawa in Mount Carmel is expected to open?
Fall. And actually, the McDonald's is roughly on the same schedule unless something happened. So end of summer or early fall was what they told us a few weeks ago.
All right. Thank you. That's all I have, Chairman.
Mark, what's the schedule look like on that VA facility and opening?
I'm
construction.
wanting to say that's in the fall as well. I think they got put off a little later. They were originally aiming to be done before the end of summer, but I don't know the exact date at this point. I'm wanting to say it's like September, October, maybe.
Okay. September, October timeframe, opening in the fall. And remind me, Cincinnati Children's?
Children's, the soft opening will occur between now and July, but the big opening is supposed to be either August or October. I can't remember which month
Okay.
it was.
Okay. So end of summer, end of the fall. All right, that's good. The VA one stands out to me. I saw the Secretary of the VA was recently just making some good announcements on a few new VA facilities that have just opened here that were under construction. And anyway, it'd be nice to all work on trying to put it on their radar. Maybe they can come out here and show Union Township some support and shake Trustee Dill's hand and Trustee Becker's hand and this October, and we do something for a fall opening for the VA. Always like to take care of our veterans here in the community, and we're blessed that they're making that investment here. So thank you, Mark.
They have a aggressive build schedule. I think the weather has kind of stopped them a little bit, but I think once they get going with better weather, it's going to really come up fast.
Okay. Perfect. Looking forward to it. That's great. Well, thank you. Township Administrator, Mr. Corey Wright.
Thank you, Trustee Logue. Mr. Chairman, I appreciate it. I'm going to be very brief. We've heard a lot from a lot of people tonight, and nobody's here to hear me talk. But just a few updates. Veterans Park, as you heard from Mr. Taylor, we got the basketball court improvements and the playgrounds equipment ordered. June 1st, we expect the bulk of those activities to be delivered before August. Mr. Taylor assures me that that will occur, and we have that conversation nearly daily. So the Klepper Park Water Main Loop project is now underway in earnest. I think the contractor is sourcing their final, just some materials or whatever, and they should start any time. And then I think that the splash pad contractor is supposed to start imminent. Is that correct? So you'll start to see activity over at Klepper as well. With that improvement that was funded through state capital grant funding. Just a little update on some stuff here at the Civic Center. Kind of phase one of the pedestrian improvements to accommodate the growth in the farmers market and the other events here have occurred. We're just waiting on some thermofoil striping for the crosswalk that help facilitate people to move around the site. And, we actually, if you remember, the board authorized contract to make additional improvements to the trail in the back. That work is occurring in earnest. They are moving some serious dirt back there. We are going to be putting in conduit. Conduit just arrived today. And then once they're all done, Duke Energy will come back and site the lights that we've been working with them. When did we start working with them, Matt? It was like May of last year?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it takes them a while, but it's a good that's a good process, and I believe in that. So, so that work will continue. And so pardon our dust in that. The township CIC audit's now generally complete. Thank you, Mr. Campbell and his staff for their work on that. That was a clean audit recommendation. And the single audit for the SLFRF funds is now complete. And again, that was clean. And so we're just continuing to wrap up the township audit. And generally, the process has been positive but extensive, is how I would characterize it. All your JED meetings have been held. The two recently created JED boards are now well into implementation. We requested documentation from OKI on carbon reduction funding. I actually sent that email out. Scott Brown with ODOT sent us an email, said basically those funds are allocated per congressional action. So we will proceed forward with the design build process, and I think Mark has to send that over to the criterion engineer to kickstart that. Tonight, we have a public records policy for amendment by the board. This amendment adopts new fees for body-worn camera video footage pursuant to House Bill 315. Significantly and notably, there are a significant amount of carve-outs for those fees. Victims, parents of legal guardians, juvenile victims, attorney-client, attorneys, attorney-client privilege, government agencies, school districts. So that's important. We also have to designate a records custodian officially. So in lieu of the board having to do that every year, we're just going to put it in the policy forever. And it was the township fiscal officer, so that will be before, which is already what happens now by statute. This is just part of the new auditor's new rules. So, so we will continue to comply in that. I have a motion for concurrence with my recommendation to amend EMS billing rates per kind of some process that we've gone through with the audit. My recommendation is to basically adopt more or less with some rounding the means, the averages for, what is it, 79 jurisdictions, Chief, in this area?
74.
74, I'm sorry. 74 jurisdictions, so we compile all that. There's a spreadsheet. We're just going to adopt the middle of the road, and we'll be right in the middle of that and continue to be competitive in that. We have a new JED board member to replace somebody who left the Hamilton safe. We have a discussion item for fireworks. Mr. Becker's request to talk about fireworks regulations. There is a second vacation resolution for Alarm and Weebold. The trustees not only have to declare that they want to vacate it, they have to order that they are going to vacate it, as if there wasn't enough process. For process sake, that's what we are doing this evening. So this is round two.
A declaration is different from an order?
If the wording per the statute is order, that is the statute. That is.
Okay.
I use the wording the law director tells me to use.
We want to be in compliance.
Yes. We have a TIF for the COVID Ivy Point. School district approved this with no issue, and that resolution is being advanced. Also tonight, you have a resolution formally reauthorizing the Mount Carmel Grant Program. Per our discussion at the last meeting, we finalized the materials and put all that legislation together, and then the CIC will meet to follow up on that ratification. This is then and now for some fleet maintenance software. We have a resolution authorizing disposal of obsolete vehicles. These were the 2-for-1 trade-in credits that Vogelpool is offering, 2 obsolete units that go toward the purchase price of the new aerial ladder. So this is just a ORC housekeeping issue. We have to formally adopt a resolution to sign the title over. Mr. Campbell or I cannot, actually be Mr. Campbell, he cannot do that until the board specifically adopts that resolution. That action tonight will save the township $25,000. There's a resolution of sufficiency to proceed with the NCA and to accept the petition that was filed on May 2nd. Again, New Community Authority, NCA, this is another economic development tool. This is so we have it available. This is voluntary and participatory. It doesn't impact anybody if they don't want to be part of it. So that's all part of that. You have to volunteer and you want to participate. So that is how that goes, and I appreciate your support if we can keep that moving forward. Mark has some text amendments to initiate some zoning resolutions that he's been working with the zoning commission on. I'll let him briefly describe those when that resolution comes up. We have a ton of nuisance properties this month, and Mark also has prepared a resolution for the Ohio Nature Works grant round 31. It's identical to last year's project, which is the Veterans Park seating. Notably, we didn't ask for the entire funding allocation from Nature Works because we believe our application will be more competitive if we don't try to take the entire funding allocation for Claremont County. Our costs did not change, so we went back at the same 75-25 proposal as we had last year. It actually worked out okay. So hopefully we'll be a little bit more competitive. Just a couple of notes. Very frustrated with the county demolition grant program and the delays. I have voiced my frustration to the development director at the county and Desmond Mayta, so Chris McClinic and Desmond Mayta. Just not happy with how long that has taken. It's really unacceptable. That's all I'm going to say on the record. And they admit it, and part of it's because of the state's delay to award the funding. And I am proud to announce that we have successfully closed on the purchase of 3919 Buxton, and we'll start bringing improvements to the board to improve that facility, to adapt it to the service department's needs, hopefully for the next 50 years. You've been at the current location for what, 60 years, something like that? Long time. Well, the next era, and so you'll see some improvements come forward as Matt's been meeting with contractors while he's been juggling many other things to try and get that facility online. But I can tell you, we're moving equipment over there now, and it's just an absolutely incredible facility, and really appreciate the board's support to advance that part of our operation. So that concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Wright. Trustee Dills.
Mr. Logan, I think you and I both agree that any of these JED boards, or TIF boards, or any other boards, we can just appoint Mr. Becker to all these, right? Just go ahead and look at him.
I'm happy to serve in any way I can.
If I may make a point, Mr. Dills, that's actually a worker member, so there's, they volunteered somebody for that position already.
He's just trying to get Mr. Becker to be
overly
volunteered again as a worker member as well.
Yeah.
Dual hats.
Yeah. I noticed someone graciously put some lights out there by the trail in case I decided to walk out at midnight on that trail. I don't trip and fall. So it was really nice whoever did that.
So our contractors collected those, and we will make sure we return those to the people that donated.
Okay.
them.
Yeah, but well, that's nice. But in case I decided to take a midnight stroll down our trail, you know, it can never be. It was a good thought and gesture.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't recharge in the woods.
Oh, that's too bad. The
Battery operated? That's long.
Mr. Wright,
long-term thinking.
You and the team, you're working your tail off. Much appreciated. So thank you, sir.
Mr. Becker.
I guess my only question is with the services garage moving down the road, when do you anticipate, I guess, they'll vacate their current location?
So Matt and I have talked about that, and I think, in earnest for us, I mean, they're already moving a lot of the equipment that they don't touch every day over there, and a lot of that because the facility has so much room. The main area is bay space. I mean, I think the primary improvements there are going to be ventilation for air exchange. So we have some ventilation and air exchange improvements because when you're starting trucks inside, you're going to want to, fresh air, ventilate, put some monitoring on that, and then some floor drain improvements. But I think by and large, Matt and I have talked about, we can do a lot of that, and there's so much room in the building that we can move stuff out of the way. I think the other part of that is, we've already met with IT to get the cable and kind of the phi optic, the data connections in there. I think Matt's meeting with access control to work on that. Obviously, a lot of the remodeling will be preserving the existing space. When we walk through it, we don't think there'll be a ton of walls that are moved. There will be some modifications, though, to have a dedicated fitness area, dedicated men's and women's locker rooms, for our staff, that they have a place to go and to store their clothes and to change if they're on a dirty work site or whatever, that they have that ability in that. And, it's kind of some kitchenette type facilities where they have a lunchroom and maybe some counters and a refrigerator or something like that. So I think realistically, Matt and I have talked, I think the long-term, I think improvements will occur over the long term, but I think the bulk of the move can probably be completed in the next, you believe, 4 to 6 months? Depending on the availability of contractors. That's really, we're sort of subject to who we can get to work for us, as quickly as we can, and their competency. So, yeah, I think, but in earnest, we'll have the bulk of the move completed hopefully in the next 6 months.
Great, thank you. That's all I have, Chairman.
Okay, Mr. Wright. So, yeah, noticing the trail's all torn up back there, prepping way for the concrete and the lighting. Now, this is the ADA compliant walkway, concrete, and the lighting, like the light poles, the
This does
3
not
foot tall
include,
type one?
this does not include concrete. This only includes the subgrade and
The
gravel.
subgrade, okay.
So
Subgrade
this will be
gravel.
subgrade and gravel, and Matt and I have talked about this extensively. Whenever you do this kind of earthwork, we want it to settle, we want it to compact, we probably want to drive some heavy equipment over it.
Right.
To get it to get benched in, and to really lock down, and then the last phase will be the actual hard surface.
Right, but that
Yes.
is the long term.
That's the long-term goal with an eventual connection out to I-Colts. We
Yeah.
actually just talked about it this week. So-
Okay, and that's all right on the same page of what we have been communicating to the public as a long-term goal since Matt started chopping away at the honeysuckle a year and a half ago or so, and, right? I mean,
Yep.
a year ago at least, and.
Chip away at it.
Yeah, so anyway, I think it's transformational, unlocks some extra value there, looks great. Excited to see what that long-term goal finally is gonna hit with the concrete and the lighting that we've been discussing, so. Great work back there for just frankly, a small visionary project that you guys have taken and ran with, so thank you. Also, yeah, the President Trump's fiscal year 2026 discretionary funding request had in there the language for achieve American energy dominance, and the budget also cancels an additional $5.7 billion in funding provided to the Department of Transportation for failed and unnecessary electric vehicle charger grant programs. So that stood out to me as something that would likely fall in line with this charging grant program through OKI. So thank you for doing the due diligence to look for the clarity there. Again, it's not something I'm supportive of, but if funding's gonna be there, great. If funding's not there, I definitely don't want the township to go out at risk on it. So I don't know if that conversation's come up with both you gentlemen or looked ahead at that, but I think that is, to me, that's the milestone to know, is funding solidified or not, as far as that is, because I think worst case, right, Mr. Wright, we could go out.
Yeah, I mean, we won't award a contract until we get a funding commitment letter.
Okay.
An actual funding commitment letter from Scott Brown or Andrea Henderson or somebody at ODOT. I mean, that actually comes through the FHWA. So they have to, there's a process that they have to go through where they will actually, the feds will commit the funding.
Okay.
And there'll be a determination on that. So Mark's working through that process diligently in that, but we can't get there until we, put out the RFQ, RFP. So at worst, we'll have money out for Criterion Engineer Services.
Okay.
So.
Okay, great. Then the demolition grant program, is that still tying up some of the properties I identified with you on 125?
So there actually was one that got demoed at.
That was successfully demoed?
But that was an enforcement action taken by Mr. McCormick's department. So we got that taken care of.
Okay.
In the time that we identified it, worked with the property owner and got it torn down, we literally haven't moved any further with the county grant process.
Okay. All right.
And I'm appreciative for them submitting those look, and at the end of the day, it's really not their fault because the state took such a long time to award the funds to the county, and I'm not sure why that happened. But Mark, you said you were what did Desmond indicate, that there's been a bid that's been awarded apparently?
Yeah, so the demo work should occur, originally they were telling us should occur by mid-May, but it may end up being the end of May. But I guess the contract has been awarded. The long delay was the state responding to the grant, because I submitted the sites in December of '23, and we didn't hear about it until a few months ago. So it sat in limbo for a long time.
These are two properties, one in Mount Carmel and one on 125.
What's the executive agency with the state of Ohio for the funding?
Probably, is it Department of Commerce? Is it Department of Commerce? I'd have to check on that, sir.
I don't know offhand.
Yeah,
All right.
well,
All right. Okay, thanks. And then, Matt Taylor, congratulations. It's exciting. Looking forward to seeing all the great development at 3919 Buxton for improving township services by having a proper facility for you guys. So that's great. The residents are the real winners there. And Mr. Wright, there's the Lowe's property. How sensitive is that discussion? I know they like to negotiate through controlling timetables.
yeah, they have a process and they control the timetable. We finally did receive a response from them. It was considerably more than our initial offer, not to disclose that or whatever.
Right, I'm not asking you to disclose it, I don't need to know, but.
I asked them to go back, we use
Right.
a commercial broker, and to see if there's any wiggle room on that price, because my initial reaction was, well, that's why it hasn't sold for the last 10 or 15 years, is because, that, but there may be some room there. Again, it's an important parcel. So.
Well, yeah, from the aspect of the requirement that forces us to mandate a cemetery, right?
Yeah,
And and the potential
if you don't
expansion.
if you don't have room for further expansion at some point, you're gonna run out of operating revenue to support the cemetery, and then you're gonna be maintaining it without operating revenue.
Okay. All right. I know that's a policy discussion we've had in the past with the board, so, okay, all right, we'll leave it at that. Get more information, we have information. Thanks, Mr. Wright. Gentlemen, there's no public hearings tonight. Any old business? I'm seeing none. New business, consent agenda, item alpha, item 1. Well, so we're gonna entertain a motion for approval of the consent agenda with the incorporation of items 1, 2, and 3, and that's the approval of minutes, April 8th, 2025, regular meeting minutes. Item 2, approval of payments as prepared by Ron Campbell, the fiscal officer. And item 3, the approval of monthly financial reports prepared by Ron Campbell, the fiscal officer. Do we have that motion?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, Mr. Campbell.
Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, gentlemen, move on to item Bravo, the motion agenda. Item 1, approval of purchase orders. Gentlemen, do we have that motion for approval? And we can get into discussion on that if we need some presentation information.
Hold on one second. Mr. Baker, is there one you want to take out, or are we doing a separate vote on it? Oh, we're doing a separate vote on it, right? Or no? Just to make it cleaner, right?
We're doing two different,
So we split it out.
Yep.
The first one will be multiple. One's the second one. Second agenda
Okay.
item will be one.
So, yeah, seems,
All right.
So
So,
Mr. Ray, we're going to read it off. We'll vote on it.
yeah. Mr. Wright, do you want to, gentlemen, do you want to call out and go over all the requisition orders? Mr. Wright, if you want to read them off?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The first is Great Oaks. This is our first half TIF settlement payment, $41,644.44. Second one's West Claremont Local Schools, first half TIF settlement payment, $1,908,718.51. Third one is to Claremont Northeastern School District for the first half TIF settlement payment, the amount of $58,000. $673.68. The next one is to Redwood Living for the first half settlement for the developer agreement for $106,654.81. The next one is Stephen K. Malink for the first half TIF settlement, Malink Industries Developer Agreement for Malink Phase 2, in the amount of $17,502.76. The next one is to Echelon by 360 for developer agreement, first half TIF settlement, $48,578.36. The next one is to the Milford Board of Education for their first half TIF settlement payment, the amount of $1,017,757.40. The next one is to Bricker Graydon LLP for legal fees, the amount of $100,000. It's basically a blanket. The next one is to the United States Postal Service for retail postage that we sell in our post office CPU unit for $50,000. The next one is to the Union Township Community Improvement Corporation. Again, and I'll note on this one, this is from time to time, we have purchase orders that come up between trustees meetings, so that was a DocuSign purchase order. That was for economic development funding for the purchase of 3919 Buxton Road in the amount of $3,200,000. Next one is the Bachman's Inc. for the fire department. This replaces a 12.5-ton split system on Station 51 in the amount of $26,482. And again, system's 20 years old now. So we got our useful life out of it and time to replace it. The next one is for the service department for sealing and striping at Klepper Park to Hauk Asphalt Maintenance in the amount of $15,665, and this was a budgeted item. It's part of the budget program for 2025. And the next one is the township portion to the Union Township Community Improvement Corporation, which Mark is leading that charge on the splash pad water line project, consistent with the MOU between us, the township, the CIC, and the county for $176,000. And again, that was a DocuSign purchase order. So that concludes, we'll call it purchase order list A, or number 1, whichever suits your preference.
All right. Gentlemen, do we have a motion to approve the purchase orders as presented by Mr. Wright?
Yes, so moved.
Second.
Any discussion, gentlemen? No. Roll call, Mr. Campbell.
Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, Mr. Wright, if you may, please present purchase order number 25-admin-0134-alpha, Playcore, Wisconsin, Inc.
Yes, sir. So this was a purchase order again that was approved via DocuSign electronic signature in order to expedite the playground improvements per our discussion at the last meeting. For Veterans Park playground equipment, the amount of $920,000 to Playcore, Wisconsin, Inc. That is basically, Matt, that's a Sourcewell contract. Is that Sourcewell or Omnia? It's an Omnia, group bid type thing. It's like state purchasing. So.
Thank you, Mr. Wright. Gentlemen, do we have a motion to approve the 25-admin-0134-alpha, Playcore, Wisconsin, Inc.?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Yeah, I'll second. Yeah, second. Any discussion?
None for me.
Discussion?
Yeah.
I'll give the floor to you, Mr. Becker.
Well, so we did discuss this at the last meeting. I don't have a whole lot to add. I don't want to repeat what I said to any great extent last month. But $920,000 will pave a lot of roads. I get what bothers me is spending this kind of money on playground equipment when we have a lot of roads that are in disrepair and need to be paved. At some point, if and when we get caught up on the deferred maintenance problem and getting roads in much better condition than they are currently in, at that point, I think it would be best to then discuss playground equipment. And in part of that discussion, I think we should also talk about, is it really necessary, or would we rather return that money back to the taxpayers? That concludes my comments.
Thank you, Trustee Becker. I got just one, I hear you, as far as that goes. But we quadrupled over the last several years. I mean, we went from under a mile, I lived that, I was here on the board, under a mile per year and 133 miles, or Union Township has 133 miles of road, and historically it was always a mile to under a mile repaved. And thanks to you gentlemen, we've been able to double that and double that and double that to the point where, was it just not, Mr. Taylor, was that not just last year where we did the commitment of $2 million to fix all the failed roads in Union Township? So all the failed roads, all the roads of disrepair are fixed because we did 10 full miles of paving in one single year, right? All right, so I'm with you because I want to have the roads fixed and just continue that progress moving forward. So I thank you guys for that support with the roads, and I know there's always work to be done and more work to be done. We all keep an eye looking out forward and in all the areas that we're able to. So I appreciate it. Thank you, Trustee Becker, Trustee Dills. Roll call, Mr. Campbell.
Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
No.
Motion carries.
Item 2, Union Township Public Records Policy Amendment Adoption. Gentlemen, will entertain a motion to adopt the Union Township Public Records Policy Amendment as introduced earlier. If we want to get to discussion, we can.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion on that, gentlemen? Roll call, Mr. Campbell.
Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 3, Medi-Count EMS Billing Rate Adjustment Concurrence and Authorization. Gentlemen, I'll entertain a motion to concur with the Township Administrator's recommendation determination to update the Medi-Count EMS billing rates per Township Administrator's letter, corresponding enclosures dated May 7th, 2025, thereby authorizing the Township Administrator or designee to file and/or execute any and all relevant documentation thereto in furtherance of the same. Do we have that motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion, gentlemen? Roll call, Mr. Campbell.
Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 4, various Union Township, City of Milford, JED Board appointments. Motion, gentlemen, I'll entertain a motion to appoint the following persons to serve in the various capacities you indicated on Union Township, Milford Joint Economic Development District Board of Directors. JED number 7, Anna Wu, business member, replaces Chris Betts, term ending December 10th, 2028.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, Mr. Kimball.
Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, gentlemen, now we have on the agenda, we have Union Township fireworks discharge regulations and discussion. Mr. Wright, I know you're looking for some direction, I believe, from the board, so if you want to just open that
Sure.
up, and we can move forward with that.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Logan. And just briefly, Mr. Becker had asked me to bring something forward about fireworks. We had sort of an instant complaint or problem that kind of generated a broader discussion. Talked to the chief, actually talked to both chiefs about it. And just wanted to get the board's, feedback on how far down in the weeds you guys would like us to go on this. Because, currently, there's a nice little handy primer. Everybody and their brother can go out to the Ohio Department of Commerce website, just look up Ohio Department of Commerce fireworks. Gives you a whole bunch of information on Ohio fireworks laws. So basically, unless limited by local laws, Ohioans can discharge fireworks on New Year's Day, and I'm not going to go into the times, Chinese New Year, Cinco de Mayo, Memorial Day weekend, Juneteenth, July 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday immediately before and after 4th of July, so that's, could be a whole week. Labor Day weekend, Diwali, and New Year's Eve. And then there's a whole host of different rules and whatnot and everything else. So basically talk to the law director about this. Basically the state has some limitations now. We could do nothing. We could outright ban them, or we can modify the state's rules. I had it on the agenda as a point of discussion. bring these things forward for the board, and I'll just turn it over to the board. So,
Trustee Decker, Trustee Dills,
Decker.
sorry.
Yeah. Chief Reese, any interest in being the firework police?
My preference would be to stay with what the state of Ohio recommends and what they permitted. It's going to be very, very hard to enforce if we limit that, and it's going to cause a lot of calls for service that are going to be hard to mediate, quite frankly, with the public, because they're going to think they're allowed to do it.
Yeah. I agree with you. I mean, when is the Chinese New Year, Mr. Ray? Maybe I'll celebrate.
I'm not sure. And I'm not sure when Diwali is either. So.
I don't, look, there's 50,000-ish residents in this township. There's gonna be some folks here that hate the state law of what they allow. Can't make everyone happy. I don't ever see a problem. There's one resident in this township that was a big, fat nuisance, and I think you've handled that very well. Take him out of the equation, I think we're just fine. I gotta tell you, I think the week of 4th of July, let's not forget it celebrates our independence. Why not celebrate that whole week? Weekend before, weekend after. I don't think it's that big of a deal. It's 1 week out of the year. Bengals won a Super Bowl. I'm probably gonna light up some fireworks too. So, I think it's non-Republican and liberty-like to overstep ourselves and go even further above state law. So, I am a hard no on this, and there's really no room for negotiation, because I'm a big believer in liberty and doing whatever I want, as long as it doesn't bother people, and if you're obeying the state law, I think it's fine. And I think the police are gonna think they're kind of doing non-police work if they're out chasing fireworks calls of where in the world did that firework come from, and how in the world am I supposed to get that bad guy and get him a ticket? Now, if it's a nuisance, and it's a crazy guy dropping fireworks off every night, I think it's pretty easy to find that suspect and ticket him and cite him and handle it from there. But I really don't think this happens very often in our township. I just don't. And I think if we go any further than state law, I think I would argue it is anti-Republican and anti-liberty. So I'm not discussing it anymore on my end.
Trustee Becker.
Yeah, so the reason I wanted to have a board discussion on this is just because of the complaints that I've been getting, hearing from the public. And it's, and it runs the gamut, whether it's, fireworks waking up babies, dogs, that freak out from fireworks. And some of it appears to be illegal that occurs with the sound of the boom. Now, of course, there was one obnoxious guy that was busted recently in the Shaler crossing area.
We have the boom guy, yeah.
So that problem has gone away. So, we got New Year's. So, up until a few years ago, fireworks were simply illegal and in Ohio. Now, of course, people, shot off fireworks regardless. It wasn't really a big problem, though. And so now it's officially legal. New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, Chinese New Year, Cinco de Mayo, Memorial Day, Juneteenth, July 4th, Labor Day, and Diwali. That's a Hindu festival. The only complaints on this list that I'm getting are around July 4th. So it's only that line item that I'm interested in changing. So under state law, what's legal is July 3rd, 4th, and 5th. The Friday and Saturday and Sunday preceding those days and after those days. So the weekend before, the weekend after. So, if July 4th is the middle of the week, you get 9 days of 4th of July fireworks, 9 days. I think that's excessive. I think a lot of our residents think that's excessive. Now, I heard what the chief said about enforcement. The thing is, when one neighbor is getting into it with another neighbor, asking them to quiet it down, and the one neighbor says, well, it's perfectly legal. Well, it is unless we change it. And, I fully support keeping it perfectly legal on July the 4th. And of course, all these other holidays that I just ran through. I don't want to change any of those. But 9 days, I just think is excessive. Those are my thoughts, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Chief Reese or Clements, well, I'll start with Chief Reese. I think you probably get the calls first. Do we have an issue, or has it been, do you need a mechanism or a tool? Has it been an issue for firework, boom, complaints?
You always get a few around the 4th of July.
Okay,
Not many,
but it's not overwhelming?
especially now since they've changed
Okay.
the laws.
Okay, all right. Okay, great. And then, the other thing I heard there, Mr. Becker, is I hear you on the babies and things like that. I haven't been hearing from residents about complaints, as you have. I'm happy to hear what the chief's saying there, that it's not something that's overwhelming, at least on their end. And I completely hear you with having such young kids as we have had over the last several years, and being in an area that I think fireworks happen around the 4th of July and the weekend of and all of that. It's, my wife hated it when I wake up a sleeping baby. And yeah, it's not always the most fun, but I think it's part of the thing that I learned through, as we learn through parenting and resilience, and the fact that, you cannot control everything, and we just can't as parents, and we want to. And from that sense, I completely understand and relate with the complaints and the issues that people may feel. And I'm happy to hear, more of that, because I've not heard it outside of probably my own complaints with it. But on that front, I do have a hard time with having the dynamic or the perspective of an overreach of a local government. It's not something I want to do. And for example, my history there has been one of the very first things I try to push forward on this board. I got some leniency from my fellow board members back during COVID in 2020. Because at the time, the township had essentially heavily regulated township rules saying, no, you can't have a kiddie pool in your backyard. And I thought, wow, we're regulating kiddie pools in backyards. You have to have a permanent structure of a fence around a kiddie pool to be able to have a kiddie pool in your backyard. And it's hot, and it's COVID, and residents can't, enjoy their backyard. And then what did it do? It creates a dynamic where a resident's mad at another resident because they're a kiddie pool, and it throws the township in the middle, because now we're the police to come regulate if this is a unapproved fence or unapproved kiddie pool. And I learned then and there that the township, we don't want to overreach, we don't want to overextend, and we don't want to put our regulations in place that puts us in the position to 50-50, we're always gonna have one neighbor, one person mad at us because they feel that we're not enforcing some regulation that we have on the books. What good is having a regulation if you're unable to enforce it? Or, their neighborly dispute is really the neighborly dispute between the two of them and not us. But now we're pulled in the middle of it, and now half of them don't like us. And it just puts our people in a tough position. So for those reasons, I'm not supportive of doing something that further regulates beyond what the state of Ohio, I think, has in place with that at this point in time with the information that I have today.
So you don't want to make any changes?
If that's where we stand with what
That's all we need
our
to do.
current is, then I'm good with that. Now, I do want to say this, is if you consider this a change or not. Mr. Wright, I think I have seen this on social media so often. This is the one thing I have seen, is not necessarily complain about fireworks, but it was, where's that boom from? Where's that boom come from? And who's got the boom? And I think it'd be wise that we let the community, let Lisa work something there, let her know that we have the boom, that we found the boom, and, sign it, your faithful servants at Union Township. And I think the people of the Milford, Miami Township page that love talking about booms would appreciate that. And, anyway, I'll let you guys work on it, but it's a little bit of good jest and humor and, the good work that we do. So, Chief Reese, what was that case again? This guy was setting off a bunch of fireworks?
They weren't
constantly, or
fireworks, it
what
was more like ordnance.
It was ordnance? What was he doing? Okay. So something that would be not regular, or something that would be unregulated by the state?
Right.
Okay, all right. But how
It would be
frequent,
illegal regardless.
how much of the background on that story is there that is shared, or it's just he was setting off basically ordnance?
The subject at one time had a permit through the ATF to manufacture and to own that type of stuff, and it was revoked back in November
Okay.
for whatever reason. They actually helped us enforce and litigate it
All right,
through court.
all right.
The
Well,
ATF did.
so is that done through court now?
Not yet,
Mm.
but I actually talked to Lieutenant Blankenship today about it, and
Okay.
I think the felony charge is going to be a successful one.
Okay. So is there some snippet, a sentence, 2, 3 sentences that can be shared at least as to where that is at right now? And we could tell the community, we have your boom, we found this boom, and now, it's gonna play out
To
in
be
court.
honest with you, Mr. Logue, I think Shaler Crossing, I actually live in that neighborhood, so I'm on the HOA group. They're very aware of the situation.
Yeah.
And what we were able to do.
But I mean the broader community, can we share a sentence, 2 sentences that Lisa would be able to put out on social media about it? Probably?
Yeah.
Okay.
We can do that.
All right. Are you fine with that, Trustee Dills, telling people that we found the boom?
Yeah, I can care less.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Trustee
Do-
Becker?
Yes.
Are you good with that? Okay, all right.
I do think,
Thank you.
I do think if we differ from the state law, I think it'll confuse people. I also think it might make our police department unpopular. And, because if you said it the weekend before, what if it rains that whole weekend? And then is it illegal to do it the following weekend now? But I do think it's a little bit overreach, and, I think if we differ from state law, it's gonna cause confusion, it might make our department very unpopular, so that's all I'm gonna say on it.
Brought up some great points there, Trustee Dills. All right, gentlemen, does that conclude the item 5?
It does.
All right, thank you. Item 6, Township Administrator Contract Amendment. Trustee Dills?
Sure, yeah. Administrative contract amendment, I'd like to make a motion, I will make the motion to amend the Township Administrator's employment contract to reflect a 5% increase in the base rate of pay effective on the first full pay cycle on June 2025.
Second.
Any discussion, gentlemen?
Yeah. I guess my thoughts on that are, from my experience of working with Mr. Wright, I just can't imagine an administrator being any better. He's, very attentive to the needs of the public and of course, the needs of the board. When, I've reached out to him, text, email, whatever, sometimes at all hours of the night. I'm surprised he's still up. He'll respond promptly, and smart guy, and I think we're getting our money's worth out of him. And I don't think 5% is excessive based on the results we've been getting. That concludes my remarks.
All right, thank you, Trustee Becker. Very well said. I think Trustee Becker can be a hard critic on any money that we spend, so I'll let his words carry very heavy weight there. Mr. Wright, you are an incredible administrator and asset to the community. We appreciate you executing and leading out this organization and the team here. Don't miss time that you need to be with family. Take a look at your support structure. If you need to have an assistant admin type position, I'm good with you looking into those resources, because I don't want you to miss valuable time with your family when your kids are so young. Because you got a whole lifetime and career to continue to work here. Trust me, you will until you're maybe like 85, and we'd appreciate that. And And so from that sense too, I don't know if you've ever given, you know, your family, like a cell phone number or whatever, but if they need like my number, Becker's number, or Dill's number, they have permission to say, hey, leave them alone right now because I need them for this. Your family comes first, okay? So we appreciate what you do for our community and us as a family up here, but I just support you, so I want you to know that. Yep.
Just make it short and simple. I don't want the Lovelands of this world to touch my guy. So this is a big stay away, leave us alone, and he is the most regarded administrator outside of, I always say, the city of Cincinnati. So that's what this is, and in the event I'm not blessed with another term, I need to know that UT is in good hands for a long while. So this is me washing my hands of that, and in good faith, knowing that UT is in good hands. So it's a big, loud statement, and I want everyone to stay away from my guy and leave us alone. Unless they need help, we're always willing to help, but leave my guy alone. That's what this is, loud and clear. Thank you, sir. You're the best decision I've personally ever made in my 4 years. Made some good decisions with the board, and but no doubt. So this is a big, fat statement, and I'm going to say it loud and clear. That's all I got to say.
All right, roll call, Mr. Campbell.
Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, gentlemen, item Charlie, legislative agenda, item 1, resolution 2025-21, resolution ordering vacation of Larma Lane and Woodwood Lane pursuant to Ohio Revised Code 5553.04 Echo and declaring an emergency. Gentlemen, do we have a motion to adopt resolution 2025-21 ordering the vacation of Larma and Woodwood Lane?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, Mr. Campbell.
Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 2, resolution 2025-22, the Cove at Ivy Point TIF District. Gentlemen, this is a motion, entertain adoption for resolution of 2025-2022 to creating a TIF, tax increment financing district for the Cove at Ivy Point TIF.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion, gentlemen? Roll call, Mr. Campbell.
Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 3, resolution 2025-23, resolution declaring May 18, 2025 Kaylee Masson Day in Union Township. Gentlemen, this is adopt the resolution that we were presented on earlier tonight, 2025-23.
We already did it.
Oh, so it's already adopted?
It's done.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, thank you. And we're categorizing it here in the legislative agenda, but for the purposes of the meeting, we pulled it up into our special proclamation at the very beginning. So we'll move on to item 4, resolution 2025-24, resolution reauthorizing the Mount Carmel Revitalization Grant Program. Gentlemen, this is a motion to adopt resolution 25-24, reauthorizing Mount Carmel Revitalization Grant Program, adopting rules regarding grant program eligibility, participation requirements, and designating the Union Township Community Improvement Corporation as the agency responsible for administering the grant program upon successful allocation of funding to the UTCIC by the township. Do we have that motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion, gentlemen? Hearing none, roll call. Mr. Campbell?
Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Gentlemen, item 5, resolution 2025-25, then announce certificate fleet maintenance software, authorizing the township fiscal officer to issue a then announce certificate of payment and expenditures. Do we have that motion?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, Mr. Campbell.
Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 6, resolution 25-26, resolution authorizing disposal of vehicles pursuant to Ohio Revised Code section 505.10 Alpha 3, declaring an emergency. Gentlemen, do we have a motion to adopt 25-26, declaring vehicles or equipment to be obsolete, authorize disposal of said obsolete vehicles or equipment via sale to be applied as a credit against the purchase price of new vehicles or equipment pursuant to Ohio Revised Code section 505.10 Alpha 3, and declaring an emergency?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, Mr. Campbell.
Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 7, resolution 25-27, resolution of sufficiency, Union Township New Community Authority. Gentlemen, do you have the motion to adopt 25-27, determining that a petition to establish Union Township New Community Authority is sufficient and complies with the requirements of section 34.9.03 of the Ohio Revised Code and form and substance, setting the time and place for a public hearing on the petition, authorizing the notice of publication for such hearing and approving related matters?
So moved.
Second.
Hearing no discussion, roll call, Mr. Campbell.
Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 8, Resolution 25-28, resolution initiating zoning text amendment. Adopt Resolution 25-28, initiating a zoning text amendment to the Union Township zoning resolution. Do we have that motion, gentlemen?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, Mr. Campbell.
Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, gentlemen, then we have item 9, Resolution 2025-29, nuisance abatement resolution. Gentlemen, this is to adopt Resolution 25-29, authorizing the abatement of the removal of vegetation, noxious weeds, garbage, trash, debris pursuant to Section 505.87 Ohio Revised Code of the following properties: 649 Carefree Drive, Cincinnati, Ohio 45244. Item 2-122 Forest Run Drive, Batavia, Ohio 45103. Item 3-1275 Shaler Road, Batavia, Ohio 45103. Item 4-4067 Glen Essie Withensville Road, Cincinnati, Ohio 45245. Item 5-4285 Marrette Drive, Cincinnati, Ohio 45245. Item 6-4331 Eichels Road, Cincinnati, Ohio 45245. Item 7-4505 Forest Drive, Cincinnati, Ohio 45244. Item 8-4625 Summerside Road, Cincinnati, Ohio 45244. Item 9-4641 Locust Grove Court, Batavia, Ohio 45103. Item 10-4780 Shadowwood Court, Cincinnati, Ohio 45244. Do we have that motion, gentlemen?
I do not envy you, sir. So moved.
Second.
I thought about sneaking in one of your property addresses into that. That might be
That would
fun.
have been funny.
Hearing no discussion, roll call, Mr. Campbell.
Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Well, that would be something, huh? Item 10, Resolution 2025-30, Ohio Department of Natural Resources Round 31 Grant Application. Adoption, gentlemen, of Resolution 25-30, authorizing the submittal of an application for funding assistance through the Ohio Department of Natural Resources Nature Works Grant Program, Round 31, for Veterans Park seating area improvements. Do we have that motion?
So moved.
Second.
Hearing any discussion, gentlemen? Roll call, Mr. Campbell.
Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Gentlemen, on the comments from the board members. Trustee Dills. Gentlemen, not much. Great meeting tonight. We went over a lot. No, I'll keep it sweet. We're all good. That's all I have. Nothing.
Trustee Becker.
I'm glad Mr. Dills was brief, because I'm not going to be.
Okay.
I actually have a lot of stuff this evening. I'm going to try to go through this quickly, like lightning round style.
I
you know,
appreciate it.
quick questions, quick answers type of thing.
I think it's great.
I don't want to be dragging this out. If anybody wants follow-up, they can call me, call Mr. Wright, watch the video in slow motion or something. So first of all, I just want to give a business update, and I got 5 items here. So the construction of the used car superstore at the Weiler Empire on 32, that appears to be completed. At least when I drove past it Sunday morning, the lights were on, so it looked populated. There's a new restaurant coming in to the old Highway 55 location. It's called Clean Eats. That's a chain. I had to look that one up, so I'd never actually heard of them. Third one I have here is in Mount Carmel. You have a new Pigskins Bar and Grill that's going in, and that's going to be at 455 Old State Route 74, and I believe that's the old Sports Page building. The fourth one I have is another business coming in. It's across. This is going to be on Old 74, 778 Old 74, across from Eastgate Mall. Deeper Roots and Massage, Yoga, and Meditation Center. Last one I have, the old Laszlo's location of Withensville will become a David's Kitchen and Bar, and that's expected to open within a few months. Next thing I have, so as you know, gentlemen, I attend monthly the CCTID meetings. That's Claremont County Transportation Improvement District. Mr. Wright is a board member there, and I have 7 items of interest for the public. I want to, again, go through these quickly. The Glen Essie Withensville overpass, that is scheduled to be open to traffic late this year, sometime in the fourth quarter, maybe in December, hopefully before Christmas. The intersection there in front of Myers and the library, that corner, that's supposed to be open to traffic the first week of June, so that's encouraging. The Round Bottom Road Bridge replacement is complete, and that is open to traffic. The roundabout, there's a roundabout planned on the Buxton Road in the bend at Provision Living. The timing for that is in the 26 to 27 timeframe. There's been no starts on construction there, but it's going to happen. On and this one's a little bit iffy. So on Old State Route 74 at Elmont Drive, there's an intersection improvement that is being discussed. The potential project is dependent on funding, which is currently unknown. There's going to be a new traffic light installed on Buxton Road at Red Sunrise. That's in front of West Claremont High School. And that'll probably be later this year. And the last one I have for the TID update is improvements are being considered for the intersection of Mount Carmel, Tabasco Road, and Clough Pike. Been a lot of consternation about that. And one of the items is potential designs that they're considering, and I've never heard of this. It's something called a peanut roundabout. I'd ask, what is a peanut roundabout? I think it's kind of an oval. Is that the best way to describe it?
It's like two ovals stacked together.
There you go, two ovals stacked together. Maybe it's called an oval about.
Yeah, except there's no connection in the middle. So you get the oval and the oval, and then you get so hence the peanut. It looks like a peanut. With a
Okay.
shell. Yep, like the planter's guy.
That'll be interesting. I'd like to see them build that there. Okay, and then the last group I have here, and this is, so there's a lot of, on social media, and by the way, these updates I'm giving, a lot of this stuff is people asking me things on social media. So I'm also, I share it there and sharing it here now. So also, there's a lot of questions out there about aggregation. So we're doing electric aggregation now. We're going to be doing gas aggregation. That's coming up in October, I think, when that one expires. So I came up with 17 questions, and I'm going to kind of go through this lightning round style. So, and this is kind of a compilation, and I've kind of, whittled these down a little bit and some summary level of some of the questions that I've been getting online. So what are the advantages of aggregation to the consumer? So I came up with, three. Price is one of the advantages because, at least currently, it's cheaper than Duke Energy. Now, that can change as the market changes. Simplicity, you don't have to do anything. And backstop's the third one. I use aggregation as a backstop. And what I mean by that is, I contract on my own with a private provider, just, by using the Energy Choice Ohio website. And if, let's say I get a 6-month contract, let's say rates go crazy in the next 6 months, and then I go to renew that contract, and now that price is a lot higher than aggregation, and this has happened. Well, then I'm going into aggregation, I'm opting in, and I've done that. So that's what I mean by backstop. So what are the disadvantages of aggregation to the consumer? Well, a lot of people, think it's government overreach, why do we have to opt out? Why can't it be an opt-in? So people don't like the opt-out part. They feel like government's telling them what to do and they don't like it, and I get that. Third item here, how popular is aggregation in Union Township? This wasn't a question I got from the public. Actually, I came up with that on my own. So I got curious. So, well, how popular is it? So 45% of households are in the aggregation program. 31% of the accounts are with Duke, and 24% of the accounts are with other providers. So I'm in that 24%, but I want to zero in a little bit on that 31% with Duke. So what happens is, so that number's misleading. It's misleading high. And so what happens is, so let's say I'm in aggregation, I sell my house, I move. People who buy that house, they have a new account now, and they're going to be with Duke, because they've probably never even heard of aggregation, don't even know what it is. Unless they want to get it to be, if they're new to Ohio, they're not even going to know about this energy choice thing. So you're going to have a lot of people with Duke just because of turnover in housing, churn, just people moving in and out. Fourth one I have, why do I have to opt out rather than opt in? Well, that was a vote of the people November 3rd, 2015. So what that means is, if we are going to do aggregation and you get 45% of the people that are using the program, it has to be an opt-out. We don't have a choice on that. How do I permanently opt out? So you go to the PUCO website. So that's a Public Utilities Commission of Ohio. And you get on their do not aggregate list. And so you can just Google PUCO, do not aggregate, and you'll be able to find it. Or just call his phone number, 800-686-7826. The sixth item I have, why can't I permanently opt out of gas aggregation? That was my question, actually. So the answer is the ORC, Ohio Revised Code, state law doesn't require the PUCO to create that option. So that's why you have a permanent opt-out for electric and not for gas. Number 7, does the township or township officials, employees, profit from aggregation? So I hear that one a lot. You guys are getting kickbacks, blah, blah, blah. The answer is 0. Nobody up here gets a dime from any of this. Yeah, somebody's making money, but it isn't us. It's not the township. We get nothing. Number 8, why are prices increasing? Is it the economics of supply, price, and demand, or so-called corporate greed? So I got this question on social media. It had to do with, and I believe he was serious, saying, oh, no, it has nothing to do with supply and demand. It's all about corporate greed, which then brings me to the question, well, okay, when prices come down, it's corporate generosity. So when the EPA, I guess this was 10 years ago or something, is weaponized to go after coal plants, and these coal plants start shutting down, that takes a lot of electricity off the market. And, 4 of them shut down just in this immediate area. 2 of them here in Claremont County. Number 9, the aggregation rate isn't always the best deal. Why aren't all energy providers considered for aggregation? So I don't know how many providers there are. There might be a couple of dozen. There's a lot of them out there. And the answer is not all of them bid on the program. And the reason they don't bid on the program is because the small providers, which is the lion's share of them are small providers, they don't have the call center. They don't have the ability to opt out, thousands of people who call to opt out. They just can't service the accounts. They're just not big enough to do it. So they don't bid on aggregation. So it's only really the big boys that even have the opportunity to do it. And that's why you're going to find lower rates online. Number 10, how does the energychoice.ohio.gov apples to apples website work? So just briefly, go to that website. You start in the lower right-hand corner. You select compare electric rates, or compare electric offers. I've walked people over the phone through this. Select a screen called residential. That's the next screen would be residential. Then you select Duke Energy of Ohio. Then select the filters on the left, or sort by any of the columns at the top of the page. So you can sort by price, which I always do. I use some of those filters, looking for like 0 monthly fees, that sort of thing, so you can play with that. Any questions on that, feel free to give me a call, or call Mr. Wright. He gets these calls all the time. Number 11, takes 1 or 2 billing cycles for Duke to establish a new provider. How do consumers thread the needle to know the timing of when to make the switch? This is important to avoid early termination fees or paying the exorbitant market rate. Well, I've been burned on this a couple of times, and very recently, just this past month on gas. I screwed up, my fault, I own it. I wasn't watching my calendar, I missed it, and I wound up going to the market rate. So what's it mean when you go on the market rate? It means, at least in my case, when this has happened, you're paying somewhere between double and triple what you were previously paying. So you never want to make that mistake, which is also one of the reasons why most people don't go into private contracting for these things, because it's something you got to watch, and you're going to get burned if you're not watching it. I can attest to that personally. So the answer to the question is, you want to give it 2 weeks' notice. So if you just got your bill and you see the billing date is May the 10th or whatever it was, the service through date, sometime in about 2 weeks from that time period, if you need to make a change or want to make a change, that's the time to do it, because Duke needs about 2 weeks advance notice to get it done. So about the middle of the month is at least if that's when your billing date is the time to do it. So the provider, your provider on the billing date, or the meter read date, I should say, the provider on the meter read date is the provider you're going to have for that entire billing period. Number 12, does Duke handle all billing, distribution, and servicing regardless of who my energy provider is? The answer is yes. Number 13, what about even billing? The answer is yes, no change there, doesn't matter who you're with. 14, are riders a way for energy providers to screw their customers and make them think they're getting a better deal than reality? I've been trying to figure out where this has been coming from. The only thing I can think of is there, at least in the past, has been unscrupulous actors out there. You know, they're going door to door. You know, maybe they're, you know, in front of Kroger's or something. And, you know, I guess I would say, you know, buyer beware to a certain extent. If they're not on that Apple's website where they're heavily regulated, then you know, I guess I'm not sure what you're getting. But as long as they're on that Apple's website, they're heavily regulated, and you're not going to have any problems in terms of being deceptive. So in terms of the riders, and you know, is that an additional fee that people don't know about? Well, I can tell you, and you know, as anal as I am, I can tell you with mathematical certitude that I've been tracking this stuff on a spreadsheet for 25 years. Yes, I'm really that bad. and you know, the riders are built into the rate. They're not in addition to the rate. Number 15, are the distribution charges the same regardless of providers? The answer is yes. Number 16, how can customers report providers who are bad actors? And I've run into some things in this Apple website that are, I would just describe as sloppy as opposed to deceptive. I just think it's incompetence, frankly. But anyway, you can just Google PUCO, file a complaint, or call the number, 800-686-7826. And finally, what happens at the end of my contract if I don't renew? Well, I think I already answered that one. That means you will be at the mercy of the market rate, and you don't want that to happen. Mr. Chairman, that concludes my extensive and lengthy update for this evening.
Thank you, Trustee Becker. I appreciate it. Hey, so we just got through Mother's Day weekend, and I know that for some, you know, that's solemn because you got a loved one that you lost. I've lost my father. I've got my mother around, so I'm blessed for that. But you know, God calls us to honor our moms, showing love, respect, gratitude, care, because in doing so, we reflect His own love and obey His design for our family. And as I look around the room here, I know Trustee Dills, you honored your mom and you blessed her, you take care of her. That was very warming to see over the weekend, and the mothers in your life. And Trustee Becker, I'm fairly certain that I passed you yet again on Round Bottom Road as you were taking part in one of your daily visits to go see your mother, and you honor her. And I passed you this weekend, and I thought about texting you saying that your truck gave me an update that it's leaving Union Township this time, but I didn't. But I saw you, and I recognize how you honor your mom. Mr. Wright had an opportunity about a month ago to be on stage to do the Pledge of Allegiance with your mom, and she called out that Austin, my young leader that was spending his birthday with us, he walked up to join me for the Pledge of Allegiance for that event. And as I look out, I'm sure I see a few people that have lost their mothers. I see Matt Beamer here and Joanne Beamer, who served this community for 25 years as a principal at Northeastern Claremont and 32 years with West Claremont School Board. And she's touched obviously thousands upon thousands of lives of students here in Union Township and in Claremont County. And we've got a bench out front that recognizes her and her service to the community. So for Mother's Day, just wanted to share that what a wonderful thing that is, and just a blessing to call those mothers blessed in our lives. So likewise, moving forward, we have Memorial Day, something also to look forward to that is solemn in the sense of it is honoring those that have given their life and sacrifice and service. They've given it all for this country. I always, as a combat veteran, take that to a point to not get that mixed up with Veterans Day or an active duty day or Service Members Day. That is Memorial Day. That is for those that have died serving this country. and hold that dear in my heart for those Gold Star families. Just like we saw the mother here tonight, I have that connection of the fact that she's lost someone, not due to the fact of, serving in combat, but just what those family members go through. It's very impactful. I wouldn't want to wish that upon anyone to lose a son or daughter, but we can all as a nation look proud on them on Memorial Day. Gentlemen, if you remember last year, I talked a little bit about National Day of Prayer. That just came and went. I wanted to do something big and bold for Union Township for National Day of Prayer, first Thursday in May. Apparently, it's I don't know, too big of a lift to just get done in 1 year. Too much threat of ACLU wanting to sue us and things of that nature. So I don't know. I'm interested in creative ideas still. As far as that goes, but I just want to call it out. National Day of Prayer just occurred this last or first Thursday in May. So looking forward, also I want to recognize Law Enforcement Appreciation is on May 21st, and this has been going on for. I just lost my. I want to open that back up real quick. Been going on for decades, and so this year, this is the 42nd year to have in Clermont County. And this year there is a special presentation for excellence in service for Union Township's very own Sergeant Brandon Bach. And then also distinguished career for Union Township's Sergeant Greg Jasper of 31 years of service, Union Township's Officer Keith Puckett of 25 years of service, and Union Township's Officer Dave Perkins of 22 years of service. And then also, good thing I made a note to myself here, also excellence in service recognition for Union Township's Officer C.J. Holden. And so for that countywide event, I just wanted to identify and make sure we recognize our officers for that event. Looks like it's going to be a great service with keynote from former Congressman Brad Winstrip, who is currently on the Presidential Intelligence Advisory Board. Was appointed by President Trump to serve on his intelligence board for that. So that's rather interesting and good. And then we've got live music by Bootleggers and an MC from Local 12, Adam Clements. And so just looking forward to be able to honor the law enforcement in our community with that. Gentlemen, move on to the upcoming events. So Union Township Community Improvement Corporation annual meeting is scheduled for Monday, May 19th, 2025 at 9 a.m. The May 28th, 2025 Union Township Zoning Commission has been canceled. The June 5th, 2025 Union Township Board of Zoning Appeals has been canceled. The Union Township Board of Trustees next regular meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, June 10th, 2025 at 6 p.m. The Spring Family Movie Night is rescheduled for Saturday, May 17th at Veterans Memorial Park at the movie beginning at dusk. The featured movie is The Wild Robot. I just want to verify that was a vote from the community. The community voted to watch The Wild Robot.
I believe it was overwhelming.
Overwhelming support. And that was up against, what was it again?
Oh,
Head to head with, was it Minions? No.
It was,
Well, whatever it is, they're losers and they lost. No.
No,
Despicable Me?
Despicable Me 4. It's still,
Oh, okay, so Minion-ish.
It's still got, I wouldn't say that it was popular, but just not as popular as The Wild Robot.
Okay. Yeah, The Wild Robot's a popular one, and, nice tribute to Mother's Day, I'll say. The next CPR AED training provided by Union Township Fire Department is on Saturday, May 17th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Following the training, participants will receive a certification from the American Safety and Health Institute. Registration is on the township's website. Union Township's annual Family Catch and Release event is on Saturday, May 17th at Klepper Park. Registration for the event begins at 9 a.m. near the Klepper Park Pond, followed by catch and release fishing from 10 a.m. to noon. The annual Family Catch and Release event will occur rain or shine, and that is fishing with just fishing poles, no sticks of fireworks or dynamites, right? So All right. The Farmers Market and Summer Concert Series kicks off on Friday, June 6th. The Farmers Market is held on Fridays from 4 to 7 p.m. on the Civic Center campus from June 6th through September 5th, excluding Friday, July 4th, as we will be the largest offender of fireworks that night, I believe. Oh, no, we are not. That's our end of summer concert, or I'm sorry, end of summer fireworks bash. Do we have a date for that yet? I want us to be the largest offender on July 4th.
In fact, I believe let me just check my calendar real quick.
As you look that up, I'll come back to you. A wide range of products including beef, poultry, produce, sauces, honey, baked goods, milk, eggs, plants, and more will be available. Summer concerts will be held at the Civic Center Amphitheater on Friday, June 6th, June 13th, July 18th, July 25th, and August 1st. Concerts begin at 7 p.m. And there's more details to follow on that on the Township's website. Sign up and subscribe today. Madcap Puppets will perform Fantastic Fairy Tales on Saturday, June 28th at 10 a.m. at the Civic Center Amphitheater. Come enjoy a great family-friendly performance. Gentlemen, that concludes the upcoming events. Great serving up here with you tonight. Great comments, enlightening information. I always get questions on the aggregation program, so thank you for covering that. Mr. Dills, thank you for what you do and for putting together an aggressive bet against Chief Clements. I don't think I want to see him bald though, but it'd be great to see you with some hair. But that's all right. We'll motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Dills?
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
We're adjourned at 8:40 PM.